Alright, this is gonna be a very strange segment. It's also gonna be mostly me winging it, so I'm gonna drink a sip of coffee. As I have no clue what to expect. Recently, we played a game called Meridian59. It's apparently a fully open source MMO, and you can actually go and build the source yourself. There's nothing stopping you from doing so other than your technical skill. I had this long rant about open source where... Oh shit, I need to take a quick phone call, sorry. Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick call. We played this MMO, and it's open source. And I was actually curious to see exactly how far this open source nature of it goes, right? You rarely get to see an open source project of this size, I think. At least in my purview, the types of things that you see open source is whatever you usually find on like the homepage of GitHub. So it's whatever you see here. So for instance, I don't know, like this is a bit of a weird dashboard thing. But here, I don't know, you get to see stuff like this. Like Dyad, or, you know, Florp browser. What the fuck is this? Florp? All of source code version 10 or later Florp browser. What? What's this? The unlimited customization for everyone, everywhere. Okay, well, it's usually stuff like this. Usually open source software. It's typically in this vein. It's rare for you to get like an open source piece of software that isn't just a pure piece of software. Like it's hard to make this delineation because I think games are the most software of all pieces of software, or at least they can be. It's like in terms of what you need to do with a game, and in terms of what MMOs are as like a machine. The types of things that you need to do to implement something like an MMO, at least in my mind, seem so technically challenging so as to make something on the scale of, say, Instagram or Facebook. But even those are simplistic in their nature comparatively because you're only doing one thing, or you're doing like a very small fraction of things, right? You're doing a social graph, which is a complicated bit, but we have algorithms to sort of do that, and then there's optimizations on that we know about. And that's all it really does, and then you just upload photos, and that's pretty much it, right? And obviously that's simplifying things, but even simplified, it seems like a small thing compared to something like a game where you're potentially doing all of those things all at once. Like you have a social graph in your friends list, you have a social graph in like guilds and stuff, which is again game staples now. I think you can't have. I don't think you can make a game without those features because people expect that, right? And then all of a sudden, you have like a million different things going on that you have to build for. There's like real-time messaging as well. Like basically every feature that you see in Facebook is basically in the game except for the social feed. And even the social feed is probably something that you could possibly have if you just allowed people to make random community posts, which, granted, that's what a guild can do. A guild can just do like a message of the day, but usually that stuff is offloaded to Discord and stuff, right? So, but still, there's a lot more different moving pieces. There's like game stuff you have to deal with. You might have some events running. You might have to, you have to deal with like propagation of character data. Like there's a lot of different things I think about when I think about making an MMO that makes me go, this is one of the purest forms of software, but it's also not really considered like software. Like it's weird how games are considered a toy. And so when you think of open source, a lot of the things that you find in open source tend to be not games. Like a lot of things in open source are just things like Florp, which is apparently a browser. The fastest Firefox derivative. What can Florp do for you? The Florp project that started in Japan in 2021. Okay, well this explains the naming. The naming is kind of interesting because I would never have thought of like Florp and then using the infinity symbol for Florp or something. There's another sort of open source game that I know about actually that I used to actually play quite a bit. It's a game called Mindustry, which is an automation tower defense RTS. It's a lot of fancy words to basically say this is a tower defense game. And what's interesting is that this is one of the largest ones that I can think of that even has a Steam release where you can pay to buy it. And on itch it's free. I don't know why. Actually, why would you buy it on Steam for $11 when it's free otherwise? This is a free open source game. Why would you buy it here? Use the Steam Workshop. Okay, yeah, because of the integrations, right? Yeah. But even this is something that's sort of akin to like a more simplistic thing where you're not really playing in multiplayer. Like most of my time in this game, at least very early on, was just playing it in the single player. The multiplayer feels like a much more niche thing where you enjoy the tower defense PvP games, a bit like Bloons PvP, like Bloons TD PvP. So to see like a full MMO style game be open source, it's like I'm very curious to see how this one feels like, because you could just go ahead and build this game. You can build the entire game, you can run the game, and it actually supports running the game within the Android emulator. Massively multiplayer orifice. That's listen, it's not cool to talk about your mom like that, okay? What's interesting is that I would never, by the way, suggest you to play this within the Android emulator. I've never had a good experience with the emulator on Windows, and I don't know why. It's always been a massive performance hog, and I don't really understand why. But this one, this MMO, is apparently native to Windows. So apparently we can just build this. And in fact, the instructions show we can build this with the Visual Studio, the Community Edition, which I do actually have. So you're going to see my entire thing here. Okay, this is a bit scary, but Visual Studio... I need to... Is this the Community Edition? Why is everything named like shit? Is this Community? It is. Okay, so I have the Community Edition. Oh, we need to pull this down, eh? Wait, sorry. Let me hide this for a second. I just need to make sure that I don't have... You love that show. Wait, what? What show? The Visual Studio show? Why am I hiding? Well, because it might have my name in it, and you may see some things, you know? Like, I need to make sure that you can't see certain things. Is this good? Okay, this is good. All it has is GPG keys, which the ones I have loaded at the moment are only for the streaming account. Okay, so it's fine. Don't fraternize with our mod. Do you know what our mod did? It was actually the worst thing ever. It was so funny to me because I was like, okay, hey mod, have you played this new TFT? Teamfight Tactics has a new set. Okay, I love Tales and Tactics more, but Teamfight Tactics also has a shitty PvE mode that I like to solve too. And I said to her, hey, have you played the new Talker's Trials on Teamfight Tactics? And she goes, is it fun? Are there any hot skins? And I was like, you're a Secco. Is Steph short for Steffrey like Jeff is for Jeffrey? Let's not dox each other, okay? Let's not dox each other. James Carl Baggins, whatever your name is. Just to make sure I can pull this down, because I can't show you this yet. I need to pull it down first. Can I actually do this? I don't know if I can. Let's see. Good clone. Oh, good. Everything was already loaded. Because my Windows SSS... Because I set up my Windows SSS agent. Okay, good. How did you guess my unique name so fast? That's good. That's really good. Can you imagine... How do people with non-unique names go through life, right? Because I've always wondered this. If you don't have a unique name, how do you go through life when you know that somebody else could have your name? Because somebody else could just have your name, and there's nothing that you could do about it. And if they say your name, but they're not referring to you, you always live in this constant state of doubt, right? I'm very lucky that everybody in my family, sans me, has a very unique name. Because I can talk to them, and I know who they're talking about. And I don't interact with normal people, so when they say my name, I always think that they're talking to me. You're playing so much RimWorld, do you think that you need an intervention? Have you seen the mod? RimWorld Shoe Body Bop mod? This is a good mod. This is a solid mod. So whenever someone dies inside the river, it plays Shoe Body Bop really fast. What? Inspired by Vine Sauce. GitHub RimWorld Shoe Body Bop lyrics. Lyrics. That's really good. Okay, well that's funny. When someone dies inside the water, you immediately play this song at like hyper speed, and it's I love playing with those mods because it's so fun to play within AO Waterworld. But granted, I hear this mod so much because I suck at the game, so I'm surprised that you're even playing the game because I can't get I don't know how to I don't know how to play the game well. So we have the project now. I pulled it down in my terminal, so it's actually here right now. How do you actually build this? Make sure Visual Studio's binaries are in your path by using the VC var script that comes with... The script comes with Visual Studio? Nagi teaches rimming. Can you say Nagi teaches how to rim? Or like Nagi teaches rimming? I would rather you say that, because I think that's a funnier. Sorry again, I can't show you this, because there's so many things that I can't show you, because the moment I have to go into my file system, I have to stop showing you certain things. In the meantime, you can enjoy this video. No, actually, no. Save the video for later. Where am I gonna find Visual Studio? How do you get to Visual Studio? What? Where's Visual Studio installed under? What? Where do you install Visual Studio? Update settings? No, I need the folder. What? Windows? Where is the Visual Studio folder? Find the path where Visual Studio is installed. Depending on the app, it's probably best to ask the user, but here's some C# code that should do the trick for VS 2008. No, you stupid fuck. I'm trying to find the fucking folder manually. Oh, it's in, I found it, sorry. Community, okay. There's a VC vars 32.bat script. Where's the 32.bat script? Team tools. Where's the script? VC tools. LOVM? No. Well, wait a minute. Do I even have the right compiler installed? Make sure the Visual Studio binaries are in endmake. I'm gonna assume this doesn't use Clang. Does this use Clang? If I just do like a search, does it show up with Clang or something? Or like if defined Clang, Borland C, Borland. I mean, maybe it does use Clang actually, but I need to go to the actual make files. Where's the make files? Wait. Just do it here. I don't know. Just like how am I gonna do this? I gotta find the stupid. I have to do this like kind of off. Okay, just I need to find the thing. Meridian59. Here we go. What is? I haven't used a makefile in fucking forever. I don't remember anything about a makefile. Nmake. What the hell is Nmake? Wait, do I have to install Nmake? Why is it so complicated? I guess it makes sense because it is a game, but Nmake. Nmake reference. No, the Microsoft Program Maintenance Utility. What? It's called a program. It's called the Program Maintenance Utility. That's like the worst name I could have thought of. What? Command line tool included with Visual Studio. Oh. But it uses makefiles. Okay? I'm gonna assume it uses the makefile. Is there anything like, I don't know, like LOVM? What the hell is this? B server, B client. I'm assuming these are the actual things themselves. libpng. I don't even have libpng. I'm assuming I'm gonna need that. zlib, libarchive, wavemix, the compiler itself. What's the compiler? KOD deco resource make bgf util updated BB gun. BB gun? What the hell is a BB gun? What? BB gun open source software. I've created the Mosquito, a tiny open source v3. No, shit, sorry. This is... Holy shit, look! This is very relevant to later. This is an open source... This is an... sorry, I was browsing some weird fucking subreddits. I love going on Reddit to find the weirdest fucking subreddits. This is an open source gun. Well, I mean, not a gun. Sorry, this is an open source airsoft gun. But I'm trying to find... What the fuck is a BB gun, man? A BB gun. I don't know. We'll just make this. We'll just see what happens. I don't really know how this works. We'll just figure it out. Friends. I don't have friends. God, I'm panicking. There's so much stuff going around. Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna assume that's worse. But the problem is, where is VC vars? I still haven't found VC vars. I've lost the folder. I'm panicking. POV. You ask your software engineer partner what they do every day, and then they start to show you, but then everything starts to fall apart, and so they start panicking, and then they start saying things like, it doesn't build and I've got to kill the child, and then you start to think to yourself, should I really be with this person? The fuck is VC vars? Where is wait a minute. That comes with Visual Studio? So, okay, so Visual Studio, VC vars 32 script. Where is this? As the Visual Studio installer is new from the Visual 2017 version, I cannot locate the... I'm having a stroke. I'm having a fucking stroke. Thank you. I cannot locate the Visual C++ component explained here. VS 2017 suffers from some very seriously brain damage. Honestly, after seeing the depravity in some subreddits on Reddit, and seeing the level of depravity and parasociality that some people get up to, it's funny how much Stack Overflow can sound the exact same. Because this is a comment that I would have found from like a deranged person on Reddit. That's the exact same vibe. VS27 suffers from some seriously brain damage and stall path location choices. Most damning dumb thing they did is to make the addition name part of the path. They make it difficult to find too. Okay, buddy, I need the fucking auxiliary build. Auxiliary build? How is anybody gonna find this? I'm gonna assume I need the 32-bit, but like, what does this do? Send to my phone? What does this do? I've never seen that option in my life. What is that? Wait, what? Windows, right-click, send to my phone. I'm gonna send this bat file to my phone. I'm gonna send this bat script to my phone. Holy moly. I'm getting a sense of my phone option when I right-click on files. I haven't linked my phone. Turn off mobile devices. If you didn't set anything up but something unusual happens, share the screenshot. Okay, well, I don't want to share this thing with my phone. It's a script. I want to see what's inside the script, though, because it'd be nice to know what's inside. Can I get the path? Okay, I'm going to go over to this folder, and we'll see what happens, okay? First, I need to hide this. Then, I need to do this. And I don't know if I can do that. Sick. Okay, so I can... Okay, we'll just go here. There we go. Build, and we go into here. So... Okay, that's the script. Okay, well this is the 60. Okay, so it calls this other script, which actually does everything, which is VC vars all, and depending on the argument, I'm assuming it passes over whichever one. So x64. Oh Jesus! If argument is x64, do that. Okay, so it just sets a bunch of these things. It sets the target architecture. All right, cool. Which one do I use? Like, they both seem to do the exact same thing. Usage, syntax, here we go, do this, do that. The store parameter sets environment variables to support Universal Windows Platform Application Development and is an alias for UWP. I'm not gonna... Windows Platform, I don't give a shit. How do you... So, does this call out to another script? I just want to know what variables that sets up in my machine, because I don't want to, like, deal with that. I'm gonna make a well-informed guess and say it's this. Okay, sorry. X64, X86. What the fuck? Which one do I run? If it just goes here, what's the point? Okay, okay. Look at this argument. This is the important argument. How do I actually do search from my thing again? I go like this, and then I go like, what, this? And I go like this? No, how do I actually search from my thing again? Sorry. Vim... Copy, paste from buffer into search. Right, copy, paste, Vim, paste into search. I keep forgetting exactly how to do this one. Is there a way to do Control R? Oh, and then I need to specify the actual thing. Right, okay. But which buffer does evil mode in Emacs put this into? Is it this buffer? It is. Where is this going to be found? Well, also, couldn't I have just done... What's this thing? What's the Vim search word under cursor? What's that thing again? I keep forgetting what that one is. It's the star or the hash. Right. Okay, well I could have just done that. So environment initialized for... Okay, one of these gets used. Is this read backwards? I don't know. It's not used anyway, so it just sets it, unsets it. Maybe it does go backwards? I don't really know how bat scripts work. If VC var, okay, so it runs vsdev_command.bat, okay? This temporary environment variable is used to control setting a VC plus command prompt specific environment variables that should not be set by the VS developer command. What? Is the known case that this affects is the platform? Wait, what? Command prompt specific environment variables that should not be set by the VS developer command prompt. But then what's the point of having this when you can just do it elsewhere? What? Okay, well, VS Dev... Common 7. The hell is Common 7? Common 7. Well, what happened to Common 1 to 6? Tools. VS Dev command.bat. Spy. XX. I don't... VS Dev command.bat. Tools. I'm in tools. Common 7 tools. There is no... Oh wait, no, it's here. VS Dev command, but it's like a whole folder. So... Oh wait, no, it's here. What does this do? Okay, this literally just adds a bunch of things. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Okay, so I think it is read from bottom to top, but I don't really know how these things work. VS where is not found VS dev command. Okay, it says these things. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, I'll just run it. You want me to run this one? I'm gonna assume I can do. I'm not AM. Am I AMD? I don't think I am. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Sure, that's all I need, I guess. Thank you. That's all I need. Okay, change the project back. By the way, I don't have anything involving whatchamacallit. Wait, it didn't switch to the project. I don't have any C++ compiler or anything. Like I don't even know what language that this thing is in, so I have no clue if this will okay. Make sure Visual Studio's binaries are in the path. I'm gonna assume that this it's in the path. I gotta restart this entire edit. Oops. Don't worry about what are just the types. I need to go. Okay, now I need to go into my task manager. You can't see certain things in here. Some things in here are still being worked on. You're not supposed to see everything yet. I need to close Emacs because I'm running it in daemon mode. I'm gonna fucking chin it back on because it doesn't take over. I didn't run the fucking because I'm using Doom, which uses its own separate fucking sync process. No, just die. No, just turn off and die. Just die. Just die. Just die. Die. Get bash. Sorry, this is this is all like me raw dogging this. I have no clue what to expect. But there's so many different things that I have to do. It's the one thing that I really enjoy about modern editors is that they're very much plug and play. When I'm using things like Vim and Emacs and I think about the different ways that you configure them and the different things that you need to do to get them to work, I always want to reach into my wallet, pull out $200, give it to like hand over to JetBrains just to get access to their all package deal, right? Because I'm like, it's not really worth it. But I persist because there must be something about it that has convinced the entire world that this way is better. Even though we have emulation for the better typing method, and the better hotkey method, right? Even though that exists, even though it does exist. Though I will say, JetBrains would never let me set my start screen to a screenshot of the Citadel, the best game in the world. Okay, we'll go back to the README. Okay, so I should have it now. Now you go to the top level directory, the one that contains the README, type nmake to build debug versions, or make release 1. Okay, well it's not a release version. So I need to be here, and I need to do type nmake. New terminal. Commiser. No, Meridian, there we go. Nmake. Fuck! And then we do nmake. Okay, so why is this not in my path? Let me look at my environment variables. Why is this not in my path? I don't think I have it installed. Path. Profile go bin. Okay, that's cool. Windows apps. Windows apps. Path. NVIDIA Corporation. It didn't add it. It didn't add it at all. It didn't even change any of my path. It didn't change a single portion of my path. What? I'm gonna add this myself. I'm gonna add this myself. Wait, so Visual Studio nmake location. I don't know. Like location of nmake is not generic. What? You installed MSVC correctly. Yes, this can cause some headaches because the version number of the folder changes every name. Use the command line support for getting the path delays installed into the variable nmake. What does that mean? This works for all intermediate versions of. Okay, well, buddy, I just need to. What? How come it didn't work? How come you didn't just pull it in? Like this is from like a terminal. Like you just do it. I just want to build this stupid game and just see what the hell's going on. You see what I mean? Like this is. I had a rant about this recently, actually. About how everything on Windows is so much more complicated to do than anything else. It's way easier on Linux to get things going. It's because it feels like Windows, except for games, obviously, because games is like... I mean, it's a fascinating ecosystem reason, but it's fascinating how besides games, everything else on Windows is like shit. Like, it's so hard to get things to just work and for you to like have the ability to like do things. Like, I need to somehow figure out how to get this thing into the pathway, and then it's like, okay, well, now I need to find out where these tools are installed. It's not installed in like a well-known location. It's just installed in this folder that changes names every time the year bumps. Every time it's a new year, you have to get a new path. It's actual planned obsolescence. It's planned obsolescence for your environment variables. That's fucked up, man. Okay, well, I don't VC tools. I don't think I have it. I think the problem is I don't have the tools. Host x64 LMNOP. I do have nmake. That's crazy. It's right here. It's right here. I see it. It's right there. What? How come this didn't add to the path? Oh, maybe it only does it for the terminal that you're in. Maybe that's what it meant by these are... It's only going to set it for the terminal that you're in for the moment. Maybe when you run the script, you only get it set for that one time. Maybe that's what the comment meant. Because I was thinking, like, what does that mean when it's wrapping it inside of another environment? I think that's what it meant. Is it's only a temporary addition. But that's stupid because, like, I don't need a temporary addition. I need it there forever. Sure. Okay, yeah, sure. Try this out. Terminal. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Will it blend? I have no clue. Return code. Fuck. No include path set. What does that mean? Stop. What do you mean no include path set? Fatal error nmake no logo -s. No include stdio util no include path set. I have no include path. That's not my problem, man. RSC load. That's not my problem, man. What the fuck is RSC load? Where's that? Where's that folder? Making in BLA black serve. What? Util / RSC load. Wow, actually have syntax highlighting. Wow. But yeah, I can see the error, like right here. It's not found because I have no include paths. So how do I explain this? C and C++ were made in a time when it was the Wild West. It was the worst time that I could ever think of for doing things, and I hated it. Because back then, it wasn't so easy. Like, it's not the same as, like, say, Rust, right? Whereas Rust nowadays, package management is very simple. And really, JS sort of, like, laid the framework with NPM and then Node, and then sort of normalizing that the entire NPM and, like, Node sort of ecosystem. But really, I would even go further back and say PHP with what's that package manager? It's not Laravel. What's that PHP? Is it package manager? Is it Symfony? Composer? Like, I feel like it started with the with Composer. C and C++ doesn't have this, and it feels like it's very hard to get to this because you have Mason and you have Conan, and that's it. And even those aren't consistently used. Like, I'm pretty sure Boost. I'm almost certain Boost you still have to get by just downloading the file and including whatever header that you need within your project. Like, I'm pretty sure if I go to the download section, yeah, you just get the files, and then there's an installation binary. What? What do you mean a binary? What? What's in a binary? And it's like you just pick and choose whichever one you want, and you just include the file within your project, or you just drop the folder. Like, literally, the way is you have a system-wide directory where you drop all of your C++ files that you need to include inside of there, or you specify to the compiler what other files to include. Those are the only two ways that this is going to work, which is interesting because you would think that that's insanity, but that's how they used to do it. But obviously, this is like, you know, the 1990s. We didn't think that people would be sharing code so much, right? In this new age, we are. The problem is, I don't know anything about the build environment to get this thing to include this. Like, I don't even know why it's not including. What? Spell. Shalil Seance casting opportunities are too limited. Oh god, people are giving game suggestions? I'd be so pissed if people gave game suggestions in the form of a GitHub issue. I'd be like, oh god, please leave me alone. You're getting backseated on your GitHub issues. The Shalil level 1 Seance spell will give results for a vary based on spell power and an active murderer using the level 1 spell cloak. The location of the murderer. When the location is sent to the caster, the random murderer PK target will get a notification that someone is looking for them. The spell won't work if no one red is online. The spell also won't work if someone red is online. They haven't killed anyone in cold blood. White/instant players only. Recently, users have given feedback that the narrow field of use makes the spell nearly impossible to work on for percent to reach level 2. Gameplay-wise, also that doesn't help hunters so much as lets PKs know to expect an attack. Suggestion: give the location where the last player died. This can be combined with Portal of Life and is a natural through line of the Shalil spell school theme. This is actually a cool suggestion. What does this mean for Cloak? Glancing at the code, it appears as though Cloak is only designed to counter the current seance. Okay, can we talk about the real issue, guys? Is that there's no include path set? Oh, here we go, for 2012! Oh! They've only successfully compiled an MSV to 2008 so far. I check my path and it's unmodified. When I run the endmaker release of equal 1, I get a bunch of errors. No include path set, no include path set. Same problem, but in a different file. Apparently, I was using the VC Vars 32 bat file incorrectly. So close. How did you use it correctly? Fuck you. How did you use it correctly? I didn't use the file correctly. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you leave it? You closed the issue. You didn't give any answers. How to use VC Vars 32.bat file. Oh, here we go. Use the Microsoft C++ toolset from the command line. You can build C and C++ applications on the command line by using tools that include in Visual Studio. The MSVC compiler toolset is also down. Okay. How to use the command line tools? VC Vars. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is a common problem when you have. Sorry, I'll explain why there's a second tab here afterwards. This is a common problem when you're doing things in software, and just in general with like problem solving, right? Somebody has a problem. They say they have the problem. They then maybe like 5 days later they say I found the solution, but they never update as to what the solution is. They just sort of gave like a vague answer as to what it was, and then they close it, and then you want to ask them what it was, but it's from 2012. That's 13 years ago. You prefer to set the build environment in an existing command prompt window. You can use one of the command files created by the installer. Okay, so that's why it set up a temporary environment. It's because when you use the file, it'll set up the environment at the moment. Is there a better way of doing this? To open a developer command prompt window, which is probably what I want to do, on the desktop, open the Windows Start menu. In the Windows 11, choose the All Apps. In the Windows 10, okay, scroll to choose the developer command prompt. What the hell? Okay, wait, so I gotta fix my environment variables. Okay, so you shouldn't be doing that. So you shouldn't be doing that thing here. What? Okay, so just delete this. Okay, well now I understand my folly. Sorry. I didn't know that it's literally just a temporary in environment for you to do something. Okay. No shit. Is it forward slashes or backslashes? Oh shit. This doesn't have CD. How do you? Is there CD? Oh, it does. But I don't think it has auto complete. Okay. Well, because it doesn't have this. Users. Shit, so it's backslashes / users / commiser, because I don't know how to explain this. There's so many different weird things about Windows. Like you have two different command prompts, really. Like you have everybody uses PowerShell, but you have the command prompt, which is like the CMD prompt, which is technically the one that's built into the system. And like PowerShell is kind of, but not really. And if you want like the newest PowerShell, you have to install it manually. It's a very weird system, and I wish they just moved over to one of them, but everything is sort of built for the command prompt, so you have to stick with this. So I have this now, so if I go here, now I can just do nmake. Oops. Oh my god, it's actually making. This is... when you look at your... if you're not on the software team, and you look over at your software people, and you see this like scrolling on the screen, and you go, wow, they're doing some magic. This is not magic. This is just I'm using somebody else's efforts, right? Like don't get it twisted. Don't be fooled. Don't believe their lies. Never believe a developer's lies when they say, "Oh, it's difficult and I'm sort of doing something." Like it's don't and then don't bother me, right? It's not that complicated. It's actually a lot easier than you would believe. Why there's so many warnings? Oh God. I don't know if I'm building this correctly, but we'll leave it on the side over here as I bring this over here. Because I don't really know why it's going fucking nuts. Meridian59, go to the top level thing, run instructions after building a server install. Well, what about the unresolved externals? Is there like an FAQ or like a help or like a support line or something? I don't know. You can point your local client to your local server by running the... Okay, listen, buddy. What about the wordings? What about the wordings? Wordings? Is there like a way for me to search? Oh, okay, don't do that actually, because it'll freeze. I guess this just... I guess these wordings are perfectly fine. But yeah, don't believe your software developers when they say that they're working really hard. To some degree, they probably are, right? But if you see this, basically, the more visual components you see on a developer screen, the less they're working. I don't know how to explain this, but like, the more that you see that's moving on their screen, the less that they're actually working, and the more that they're just waiting for something to be worked on. You know what I mean? Like it's I'm waiting for this thing to build, and when it's done building, we just get to play it. I haven't even like bothered to modify anything. We just get to explore it. But you know what? Maybe we could just explore it while this is happening. AWS? What the hell is this? What do you mean AWS? This project contains source code and supporting files from Meridian59's serverless application that you can deploy with the SAM CLI. Wow! The serverless application models command line interface. Yeah, the SAM CLI is an extension of the AWS CLI. Yeah, that's a serverless version of the game? What does that even mean? Serverless application? What do you mean serverless? What part of the application? Is it the game server? Or is it like the game itself? What does this do? SAM logs. What? Serverless application. Maybe it's like a whole separate application. It's actually curious to sort of see this. Because for a game that's built in 1996, this is like a whole new recent thing. Oh, this is for like the emails and stuff. Like let's say you want to send an email because, you know, you have to get someone's new account to go on, and you have to get like their, and you have, I'm assuming because their database is on AWS. What? You're setting verification for unverified accounts will never be in the master database, and only unique S3 files. That is insanity. What? Why? What? How expensive is a database that you'd have to do an S3 file that's cheaper? What? Well, they must have come to some pricing, like breakpoint, where they saw that S3 is significantly cheaper. Because like, let's say I'm in North Virginia. I mean, I guess the price is like per gigabyte. It's not that expensive, but still, like per gigabyte. Let's say you get standard, right? How much information do you need for an account at that point? If it's an unverified account, all it includes is like an email, and that's it. And then you just wait until you can convert, right? Oh, but you know what? That's probably the reason why. It's probably easier than having like a in progress state. Like I wonder if that's true. We have the source code. We could just check it out. I wonder if it's because it's easier than having an in progress state where, you know, instead of having like a user that isn't fully completed and thus has some data missing, and you have to make everything aware of that possible missing data when it's dealing with an account, you could just not make the account and then just have it as a separate thing until it's made. So, dear adventurers, this is the exact email that I got. Yeah, actually. How does it actually check verify account? What does this do? So when you verify the account, do account create a success or failure? Do failure, do success. Okay, so it redirects to wherever it wants. Where does the redirect go? 302, but then it does those are 302. Where does it go? Because I actually went through this process when I made the account for the game. Body client S3, new M59 accounts to process bucket name. Add to SQS job queue, which is the something queue, something system service. So it's like Rabbit MQ. I'm pretty sure this is the one that's like Rabbit MQ. Game server communication queue 101 URL. which I made my account on 101. So we'd go over there, it would send it over, it'd queue a new task, which is going to create the account. The message is create, you have the username, the encrypted password, the server that's going to be on, which is like what? What's the server? Yeah, server equal 101, right, the server that's on. And then the email that's on it, as well as the object key read, which is, I'm assuming, to read the S3 object. Alright? Yeah, it is. Attempting to open S3 object key read. Yep. And then you get the response. Payload needs to be a string. Sending the message to SQS. Sending it to server. This is very easy to read. I'm always surprised at how easy to read Python is compared to most other languages. And both of the three, very, very solid library to work with AWS stuff. Object key read, put object, what? Put object, right? It constitutes a new file in the specified bucket. What? Wait, so to run this server, I'm just realizing now, to run this server, you need AWS to run the server. Which I guess makes it simpler for anybody to run this open source server. Because you don't need to run up a bunch of infra yourself, which is probably more complicated. I can sort of see why this was made, because one, infra is a complicated task. I loathed the moments when I had to work in DevOps, because I was like, there's so many stupid decisions that you have to make, and they all have a different trade-off that's very difficult to reason about. Like, it's, if you run infra for yourself, if you don't have an in-house expert, you're basically paying more, like the same if not more, than outsourcing it via something like AWS, because you gotta get like a consultant in to like figure it out, or you need to figure it out yourself, which takes time away from other tasks. And it's always a very hard thing to think about for infra. And I guess it makes sense here too, because it's like, it's extra hard, because how do you predict how people are going to run the thing? Like, it's, I guess it could be a bit more agnostic by just saying, give us a connection to whatever your storage thing is, and whatever layer in front has to store files like this. But then how do you do such a specific flow like this, right? You'd have to have like a whole separate server to handle authentication, and that thing just has to have access to some data store. But then it's like, S3 is not a database. It has a whole different way of working with it compared to like a typical database. Like, you can't just issue the same commands. Like, you can't just have a generic SQL database connection like for S3 as you would for a generic SQL database, and just run like a create row, whatever the thing is called. I haven't done it in a very long time, sorry. But I digress. It's a valid solution for a complicated problem. Complete. What is this? Okay, what happens when you actually make your account? Now that's for passwords reset. Daily cleanup. Create account. There's bit flags. Okay, so there's bit flags for sign up success, failure, invalid username, sign up in progress. Look, Lambda handler. So this is the actual handler. Check we're up and running for new accounts. Check we're up and running. What? Util check online, DB check latest. What's this? DB check latest. I really wish I had like a full source search. I didn't set that up. Well, actually, can I actually grep? No. Can I do like projectile grep? This might break, but let's try this. You've invoked the disabled command. Use default search project instead. Oh, oops. Default search project. What the hell is that? Slash. This might crash Emacs, because... Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, good. I think I fixed it properly. Check latest. Global DB check latest. Global DB check latest. DB check latest equal response etag. Utils. Huh. And for the response, you would get DB util check online. You would get the response itself. Huh. Anyways, we have the thing now. Readme, wrong readme. What happens when we actually run this? But what? What's the format? GFM. Huh. Type and make. Run instructions. After building the code, a server install is available in the run/server directory. What? Is there like an open file explorer thing? File... fuck it, I'll just... I don't know, just like explorer here. A server install is available in the run/server directory. So, what is BLAK serve then? Run, and what's with all the warnings? Type blak serve in that directory to run the server. Okay, so cd run/server. Run/server. And then blak serve.exe. I'm assuming I don't need to have the Visual Studio tool, so I can actually just do a separate one. Which is probably better because I don't know what happens when you have build tools on the path. I mean, just to see what can happen. Serve.exe. Wow, that's the server. Well, that was fast. Blackstone server. What? Starting Blackstone server. What the hell is Blackstone server? Is this whole thing called Blackstone server? Do I want to allow? Sure. I don't know. Yeah, just have access. Blackstone. Nope. Oops. Nope. Wrong one. Blackstone server. Starting Blackstone server. Util user info. Blackstone server. I see. Blackstone server. Implementation of the Blackstone client and server. What's this? Documentation by Chris Kerms. LaTeX 2E documentation. I don't have LaTeX installed, man. Blackstone is a system designed to provide multi-user entertainment through interaction with a virtual world. Real-time 3D graphics from the first-person perspective make the user think that he's a part of this world. Users can interact with each other by typing messages that the characters say, by sending email to other users, or by posting messages on bulletin boards. Users can interact with the game in a variety of ways, including normal movement, casting of spells, attacking, picking up and dropping items, and using items. The Blackstone system is divided into 3 different parts. The client, which I think we built at the same time, but I'm not really sure. The server, which we have built and is running. And the game code, which I don't know what the difference between the game code and the non-game code is, so I don't know what that means. Memory allocated. Back in my day, the amount of memory I had was limited to 4 digits. Administrator mode channels. Loading all stats 3 accounts. Who made an account on my private server that's running right now? What? QuestEngine.bof. Status? What the hell is this? This is a very fascinating system. The client program runs on the user's machine and sets up a connection with the server over a TCP/IP network. It's interesting too that they had to specify a TCP/IP network because back then it was so new and specific. Like back then, you had to be that specific because there were different types. Whereas nowadays, everything is consolidated into just sort of that externally. A Windows 32 client has been developed. It runs on the Windows 95, Windows. That's a long time ago. Windows NT 3.51 or Windows 3.1 with the Win32's extensions. Wow. The server runs on a separate machine under Windows NT, but nowadays I guess you can run it on all of them. The game code is written in a proprietary language, called Black Ode, called Blacked, Blacked. What if we just byte compiled into a set of? I swear to God, isn't that like a porn company? I've seen memes about this. It is. Spelled differently, but you know. Okay, yeah, sure, okay, cool. So what? So that's, I'm assuming, which is byte compiled into a set of binary files. Oh, the heart of the server is an interpreter for the game that runs the code. That's a fascinating approach. I guess it makes sense, but I would have never expected this. But I guess it makes sense because even nowadays, like say for instance for let's say I don't know, WoW is a good example. WoW, Lua, I don't know, WoW. Lua, comprehensive, I don't know, Wowhead, there we go. In WoW, to make plugins, I've been into, oh god, it's like a cooking recipe. I've been into programming since 2001 and playing World of Warcraft since 2006, so it's only a matter of time. Buddy, I don't give a shit about your life story. I don't give a shit if you were born in Connecticut. Get to the fucking point! To make an add-on, you need to code the add-on in Lua, and so you can have, and so the game has an interpreter to like run this stuff. Hell, even Warcraft 3 maps, right? The language that you write in is a language called JAS. No, JAS. No, not the trick-taking game, not the Women's Collective Power for Justice. Warcraft 3, those are very cool things. I just need to look at the JAS coding language. It's the only place. Here we go. Okay. Okay, well, one of these things is not like the other. You have JAS, the scripting language, and JAS, the charity, the Japanese Association of Supporting Street Children. But yeah, even Warcraft 3, like, you go to JAS, and you would use the language to, like, write the stuff, and then the game engine would just interpret that at runtime as it loads the map and goes through different things, right? Like, it's a totally reasonable way of implementing gameplay, because you then disconnect the need to have to rebuild the entire thing whenever you change something, because then you can, like, design your game in a whole different language which is better suited for the domain, or at least is at least the iteration cycle is, because even building this whole project took a while, as compared to having to rebuild the whole thing if you just wanted to say change like a piece of spell power, right? Like it makes sense. But what does that mean for me? So okay, so the game code is written in a proprietary language called Black Code. The heart of the server is a Black Code interpreter. The server also handles communication with the client for logging in, downloading files, and other administrative functions. When the user enters the game, the server then forwards messages from the client to functions that interpret the Black Code, which then handles the client message. Wait. When the user enters the game, the server then forwards messages from the client to functions that interpret the Black Code. The rest of the paper gives an overview of the design and current implementation of Blackstone serving clients, and we'll describe the Black Code language in a separate paper. Where is the paper? Somewhere in this documentation. A boff.txt. What's a boff? Black Code object format. This server did actually load something like this if you look in the channels. QuestEngine.bof object format. I'm assuming this is the actual binary format itself. And binary is just the series of zeros and ones. And those zeros and the ones are known by their terms of, like, bits and bytes and stuff, and you can, and, like, each one is a bit, and then bytes is like sets of 8, I think. It's been a long time since I've done this, okay? And then you combine them all, and then boom, you have, like, a format for something. Most file formats, every file format is just this. Let's say for, like, an image that you see, there's like a, I don't know, like JPEG file format header bytes. You can actually get, like, the actual format itself and a description of what the format expects. So, for instance, I can go to the header. It has, like, a segment header consisting of the null terminated string spelling JFIF in ASCII followed by a byte equal to 0. And then that tells applications that this is a JPEG file, right? And then, the file format structure is even here. For, like, every file that you have. Everything. But this is not what I want, though. What I want is the language itself. BKOD definition, description.txt. No. dbase.txt. Compiler class database. What? I need to drink water, some more coffee. This is a text file read by line, so line by line. White space mandatory between stuff. Remember case insensitive. What is the compiler class? I'm assuming the compiler as in compiler for the Blackstone language, or like the Blackhead language. Latex doesn't work. This is a makefile for latex. We've gone too far with makefiles. We haven't really, but still, it's kind of painful. That's cool. Where's the actual language? Blackhead.txt. For Blackhead, here you go. It's the language, here we go, that Blackstone uses to define objects in its game world. Blackstone contains a byte compiler from Black Code. So Blackstone, Black Code, to a simple intermediate language, an interpreter for the intermediate language. Huh. That's interesting. This paper informally describes the syntax. So the game is created in this environment. So when you're running a Blackstone server, you're running the interpreter, and then the game is coded through Black Code. That's fascinating. Black Code is an object-oriented language that uses message passing as a primary means of flow control. Very nice, because message passing is sort of... It's very, very flexible in terms of what you want, and it's a very easy way to describe literally the passage of data, and the passage of data is probably one of the more fiddly bits that you have to figure out anyways. And if you can just encapsulate it within messages and never have to deal with, say, memory allocation, and you can work with this higher level construct, it gets a lot easier, right? The only thing you need to care about is, like, does this copy the message, or does it consume the message? But I'm assuming this will illuminate us in some way. An object consists of some private data called properties and a set of methods which refer to as message handlers for observing and manipulating this private data. The syntax of the language is much like that of C or Pascal, so they chose poorly. Actually, what languages were even available in 1996? Programming languages in 1996. So, okay, so you have Haskell. You have Haskell, you have OCaml, you have VB Script, you have Squeak, you have Jade, NetRex, SQL? Oh, extension of SQL. Yorick. What? The guy from Shakespeare? Oh, give me a second. It's my wife. God, I love my wife. OCaml. What other languages were made in 1996? Programming languages available in 1996. Like what was the state? Oh, mon dieu. Timeline of programming languages. This article needs additional citations for verification. This article relies excessively on references to primary sources, which is a reference to it's like if a cigarette company said that cigarettes don't cause cancer. That's a primary source. So there was Jacquard loom. The Jacquard machine is a device fitted to a loom. What? That simplifies the process of manufacturing textiles with such complex patterns as brocade, damask. Damn, that's a brocade. That's a nice pattern. Damask and metallate and metallicate. Arts and programming are inherently intertwined. The resulting ensemble of the loom and Jacquard machine is then called a Jacquard loom. The machine was patented by Joseph Marie Jacquard. The use of replaceable punch cards to control a sequence of operations. It considered an important step in the history of computing hardware. Wait, what? Having inspired Charles Babbage's analytical engine. Holy shit, there are punch cards. A Jacquard loom showing information punch cards. Wow. That's sick. Wait, that's actually so sick. So you would have somebody there like programming how to make a pattern, but it makes sense though, because like punch cards are a great way of defining a pattern. Like if you need to make a bunch of repeating patterns, right? You can just cycle that thing in and out over and over. You just cycle it in and out over and over as much as you would need, presuming that the punch card itself doesn't disintegrate. If you need to make a bunch of repeating patterns, you can just stack a bunch of papers on top, and just use like a hammer to drive in whatever thing that you use to like cut the holes out, and you've got multiple copies. It's actually kind of a genius thing to use for textiles, and then to use this to inspire the analytical engine, and then to eventually go into what we currently. Or what we had, which is like the famous picture of Jack Black's mom. Not even kidding you. Jack Black's mom. It's sad that I only know her as his mom when she herself was a very sort of like well-known and like genuinely, you know, skilled person. But she was born before my time and Jack Black was in the Minecraft movie, so I digress. It has a famous photo where she's like got all this documentation with her, right? Like it leads to this moment from this. That's kind of cool. Okay. But okay, wait, sorry. So what's the timeline of programming languages? So the Jacquard machine, they made Note G. Also, very few people know this, but like programming, like the early days of programming were, like it's fascinating how. Can I say something about certain people in the industry? I don't know why certain people have this mindset that like women can't program, but I'm like, buddy. A lot of what we have today was because of the efforts of women. You know what I mean? Like it's weird how dismissive people are just because of a person's gender. Like I saw this Reddit thread. This is sort of part of the reason why I stopped playing Factorio. When the guy was like, yeah, I like the Code Uncle's, I forget his name now, ideas about how women just can't program well, and I was like, you just believe in the idea without any real thought about why that's real, and you don't even go to think about what that means, and it sort of shows like you've made Factorio, but like I feel you should have used brainpower elsewhere. But I digress. I can't make Factorio, so maybe I'm a woman. Is what I'm trying to say, based on his criteria. The electronic delay storage automatic calculator. Okay, well, this is... Okay, well, 1996, you didn't have many options. You didn't have many good options, let's say. Well, good options are subjective. You know what? There are people today who say that C is too far. And there are people today that would say that C has gone too far. And oh my god, there could have been a timeline where they based black code after JavaScript, and it would have been worse for us all. JavaScript was in 1995. Ruby was in 1995? I swear Ruby was such a modern invention. It feels like Ruby is like a modern 2000s invention by its construction, compared to being a 1995 language. Like, especially with the environment that it's in, and sort of how it's driven by a single person, and with like, well, you know, in the same way that like that the Linux operating system is driven by a single person, right? Like, and then having that reference implementation, that's a fascinating history. Visual Basic, Alan Cooper, sold to Microsoft. Software widely recognized as the father, is also known for his books About Face, What the Essentials of Human Interaction, and The Inmates Are Running the Asylum, Why High-Tech Products Drove Us Crazy and How to Restore Sanity. What? What is this book? Like, I'm learning so much about software in this one section. What the fuck is this? Let's go to Goodreads. Goodreads.com. The Inmates Are Running the Asylum. Discover and read more. No. Imagine a terrifyingly aggressive rate. Everything you regularly use is being equipped with computer technology. Think about your phone, cameras, cars, everything being automated and programmed by people who, in their rush to accept the many benefits of the silicon chip, have abdicated their responsibility and make these products easy to use. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to say making it safe to use, you know, given the current landscape. But no, he was like easy to use. Like you think of a gun, the way that you pull a trigger and everything happens and someone's dead on the other end. It has to be like that. Inmates is all about design. Bad design is rife in the computer technology arena, according to Cooper. That's true, especially when the book was published in 2004. This is before the iPhone, the Kindle, YouTube, and Gmail. Everyone was on Windows XP, and iTunes was 1 year old. And I'm pretty sure, like a couple years later, iTunes would force everyone to have that U2 album. Cooper hates bad computer design. He has so much nerd rage against programmers that he calls them at various points in the book sadistic, unreasonable, ridiculous. He's not wrong. I don't think Alan Cooper was necessarily wrong about this, because tell me, I think a programmer gets great pleasure when they see somebody else struggling through the same struggles that they do. It's like Schadenfreude, right? It's really messed up, and they are absolutely unreasonable. I say this as a programmer myself. It's very easy to get opinionated about something that you feel like you're an expert on, because it's like, I wouldn't bother listening to you. And it's weird how, even in my head today, I'm still trying to like fix this by myself. It's weird how the moment that somebody says, I've been a programmer for like 8 years, I trust their opinion more than somebody who's like, you know, fuck all Joe on the road goes, I can barely read, but you should do this. And then I go, one opinion is worth more than the other, even though they're both useless. I found this off-putting. You can hate bad UI all you like, but if you're so focused on disliking it, you will alienate your audience. I felt like I was reading YouTube comments. That's funny. In spite of Cooper's venomous speech, he did have some good ideas near the end of the book. These were my takeaways from the book. Design needs to be goal-oriented rather than task-oriented. What? Goal-oriented rather than task-oriented. That is what the user's trying to accomplish rather than the process should be the focus. Okay, well, cool. That's a cool book and all. So, not too many languages. It could have been worse with JavaScript, because Black Code is a special purpose language meant to describe objects for use in role-playing games. There's a close relationship between the Black Code written for game and the runtime system in the Blackstone server. Black code calls built-in C functions in the server when the operation would be too slow or complicated in Black. This feels like an early version of Lua. It's very interesting how close to Lua this is. But when was Lua made? Hello, chat, and welcome back. We're checking out like this open source game server. When was Lua made? 1993. I wonder if back then, I wonder if the people who made Meridian59 would have gone ahead and used Lua had they known that it existed compared to this. Because Lua is the exact same thing. Where Lua, you have a runtime, you run the language, there's various different interpreters for it that can make it faster or slower. In fact, I think the one that everyone recommends, Lua JIT, so Lua JIT, is like a just-in-time interpreter, which like boiled down does a lot of different analysis to figure out how to run your code faster based on the pathways that it takes by storing the most important parts in like very accessible places. My wife. Okay. But yeah, it basically functions the exact same way, right? So you have the interpreted portion of it, which runs in the runtime, but then you also have the ability to like define methods that Lua can call out to, which is just whatever binding language that you want, and then it'll run those methods in the set, right? It's very easy to embed the interpreter in your application and write write functions in whatever language that you want, because like the bindings for it are numerous. It's fascinating just how much overlap this has with sort of the modern day purpose of Lua within games, because it feels like every game has Lua in some way, and Lua it genuinely is a very easy language to learn to like make things with, so it's pretty cool. So it calls building functions really slow with your operation. In fact, I even think like Roblox isn't Roblox in Lua or something. 90% certain that Roblox is in Lua. Roblox scripts use the luau. What the hell is a luau? What? Luau is a fast, small, safe, gradually typed embeddable scripting language derived from Lua. Around 2000. How old is Roblox? Oh my god. 2006. Wait. I could have been a Roblox kid. I could have been a Roblox child back in 2006. Well, how old was I in 2006? I was like... I was 11. I could have been a Roblox teen. That's actually kind of crazy. Wow. Huh. What's interesting is that I remember seeing ads about Roblox on various gaming sites. Like if you go to, I don't know, is the Armor Games still up? If Armor Games is still up, I'll be very impressed. Oh my god, it is. Like sometimes you would go to Armor Games and you would see an ad for Roblox, and I'd be like, holy shit, there's Roblox. Or you go to like Mo Fun Zone and you see an ad for it. But I always thought like it's so shit compared to things like The Last Stand, or you know, whatever other online game, or like RuneScape. I would rather play RuneScape or something, right? And now it's like a multi-billion gajillion dollar. How much is the market? What do we call it? The market cap Roblox. Okay, per share 130. Per share 130. Market cap is $90 billion. What is the market cap EA? That's actually insane. What? The market cap of EA, each share 159. Market cap 40 billion. Holy shit. In terms of like net worth and value, EA is half the size, despite EA being, you know, a company with like this many games here. Like I'm pretty sure Wikipedia has this giant list. That's impressive. Like look at this list. Actually, it's not that long. I thought it'd be longer. Oh, but this is franchises though. This is franchise. But like look, from 1983 until now. I guess nowadays they're only really known for Call of Duty, but still, like it's damn. I just didn't think. Wow. I mean, to be fair though, Roblox is like the audience for it is just so large. You really can't beat a game that's designed for children. That's very simple for children to install. And that also has basically everything that a child would want from a game. Like if you go to roblox.com. Is it roblox.com? They just entered like a virus world? I don't know. Can I see like can I see the games? Do I have it installed? Oh my god. I kind of do. I was checking out certain games to play, but I just want to see like, is there a way from like Roblox games list? List of Roblox games. Charts. Like this, like it makes sense why Roblox makes so much money when you have this much variety, right? This is probably gonna dwarf the list of games from EA alone. But also, can I point out here, this is the weirdest thing that I found, by the way. Children are fucking role-playing on Roblox. Children are role-playing. And that's fucking weird, man. Like, that's weird, man. Not to say that, like, roleplay is an inherently adult concept, right? And, like, all children to some degree roleplay. You know this when you raise a child, because every single child that I've helped to raise in my life, of which so far there's been like 6 or 7. I don't know if I'm missing one. Fuck, I am. I was missing one. Sorry, I was missing one. Wait, no, I had 1 or 2 too many. It's only 5. It's only 5, okay? When you play with them, there's a lot of roleplay where they're like, I'm a knight and I'm gonna cut you down, and you have to pretend to be the dragon and you go, I'm gonna die, you know what I mean? Like it's very boring for you, but kids have an imaginative mind, yeah? But just the idea of a roleplay game just feels wrong to me to capitalize on, because it's not like the roleplay environment is something as imaginative as that. It's sort of like, okay, I'm mommy and you're daddy. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking with other kids. Like, it's like... But at the same time, it's like... I guess that's what kids do anyways. Like, if you just watch 2 kids playing with each other, like, they get into some weird shit. Like, it's just fucking funny to, like, watch kids play. Because it's like... Kids are strange creatures that are just, like, having fun in the world in their own minds. And they try to figure things out. Roblox is adults pretending to be kids. You know nothing of Roblox. Incredibly inflammatory. Incredibly inflammatory suggestion, which is probably true to some degree, as are all online communities. And prerequisite that is not being met, that is then specified afterwards. Perfect sentence structure, where you start with, okay, a very wild, probably true claim, because that's been the internet since like time immemorial, into I have nothing to substantiate this with. Perfect move. 3008, 2.73. What is 3008? Welcome to 3008, the unusually large furniture store. Wander through. This is a back rooms game. But yeah, like it makes sense why this game has so much money, because it's children are also a very interesting untapped source of money. Like like tap now, but it's the reason why toy companies are so large too. It's like, if you can get through a child, you've effectively bought the parent, because the parent is the tired person that is trying to find a solution to the problem of parenthood. Because before they have the child, in most average cases, let's say most normal cases of pregnancy, before they have the child, it seems like a dream come true. When they have a child, they recognize their mistake, and the parent is looking for anything to lessen the burden of being a parent. I know this because I was the solution to that problem. I was the solution to that problem. It's why, despite having no kids of my own, I raised 5 children, to some degree. But this is why things like this make so much money, is because you've effectively won the parent over by winning the child, because now the parent has an easy access to something that they can throw money at that helps them solve the problem of how to be an effective parent, because they don't need to. They can just go to this system and use this instead to take care of their child, right? It totally makes sense. But that it took so long for people to really understand that, for like the mobile game pop-off to happen, like I'm just very impressed that so many things are made for adults, even though it's like kids are where the money is, if you want to just sort of soullessly drag them in. There's also the insidious nature of like kids on an iPad will just click buy on everything, and if you have no parental controls, you're at like $10,000, but that's a whole separate problem, and that's really on you. A very deep pool. Last to leave the pool, win. Last to leave the circle, win. Dress to Impress is actually a sick game. It's actually not like sick as in like awful and like terrible, but sick as in sick nasty. Escape Running Head. Don't press the button 4. This is the kind of shit that gets kids. Ink Game. What? Can I also say something about kids too? Okay. Why are we letting children watch Squid Game? Do you know what Squid Game is? Like, Squid Game Headshot. No, Squid Game Kill. Here we go. This is like, it's like, what? Like, buddy, like, why are we letting the children watch Squid Game? Like, why are we doing it? Like, you literally see people get headshot, man. Like, when you see people's like bodies getting like torn apart and stuff, man. Like, isn't Squid Game's an adult show? The themes are very adult, and I would even argue that the target audience is extremely adult. Yeah, or at least young adult. Like, if you can show Hunger Games to a teenager, I think you can show Squid Game to a teenager. but not because it's sort of like the sliding scale of appropriateness argument. It's not that fallacy, but because I think the themes are understandable for a young adult to understand, and like the whole concept of like exploitation and what the story is about is good for somebody growing into the world to learn. But as a kid's game, it's I don't think it's a kid's game. However, there's certain aspects of it that are kind of kiddish. Your guess is because of the bright colors and they know adults are talking about. Actually, that's a very good point too. I was gonna say that it has some kid elements to it, like this idea of how do I say this? The Lord of Flies. Is it the Lord of Flies, or is that Beelzebub? What's the Lord of the Flies? Okay, Lord of the Flies. Is this the one where it's like the children stuck at the island? Yeah, the Lord of the Flies is basically Squid Game, but in a much more child form. Yes. Okay. Sorry. The Lord of Flies is Beelzebub, but Lord of the Flies, the book, is also a novel about this idea of a Squid Game, sort of like battle royale thing, right? But I was thinking in that angle where it has so many different elements of like kiddish games, because the whole theme of the show is this idea of like, I mean, spoilers. It's this idea of like people playing this game for the sake of playing this game to have fun with it, and forcing people to go through this like fucked up game for no real reason other than they want to, and in doing so forcing them to play these like kid games but with a deadly element to it, right? Like that's sort of, I was thinking that. But your guess of the bright colors and the adults talking about it probably makes more sense, because kids do imprint on what the adults around them are talking about, and the game does have a surprisingly bright color scheme that does work. That novel was fucked up. It was fucked up. But that's sort of like why, right? Like, I think it's like, if you've ever seen kids play, like, it's fucked up. Like, kids will kill kids if they just want to kill them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't explain this, but like, every kid's a murderer. You ever seen a kid play, I don't know, like, I'm the knight, you're the dragon, I cut your head off? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if I would trust a child with my life. And I think Squid Game gives children the outlet to be their little fucked up gremlin self, because they're just going around being like, I'm gonna cut you down, and I cut your torso in half, and your guts spill out like blah! And I swear to God, I've had one kid say that when they go, and your guts spill out like blah! And I go, oh God, like, where are you learning this? You know what I mean? But that's how this, that's how it is. Your bro basically said raising a kid is stopping them from murdering themselves or others. Yes, it is. It really is. Like, maybe raising children is a very hard task. So, yeah, that's basically it. Very, very interesting stuff in my mind. How do we get here? We got here from Lua, which was from Luau. I got sidetracked with Roblox. Lua is created in 1993, and we got to Lua because we're looking at the Meridian59 source code. That's good. How does this actually work? A black code file contains definitions for one or more classes. Each class definition contains 6 parts, as illustrated in figure, whatever this is, which is the reference to the figure class, which is over there. And we may need a new playlist very soon. So you have the class name, and then it's a superclass of whatever the class, and then you have different classes doing different things. Okay, well, I kind of get this. I think. Code to kid murderers. Checks out. The pipeline is real. Okay, think about it. How do you kill? What do you say when you need to? What do you say when you need to stop a process that's under another process? This. Here we go. Here go. This. You do this. Sometimes I wonder if my non-tech friends wonder about my search history. Removed child from parent with fork. How to kill child of fork. The pipeline has been long established. The pipeline has been long established, and I'm simply bringing to surface what we've all known, right? Properties are the equivalent of protected class data. It's there. Yes, identifies the reason. Okay, so we know the language now. We know how this thing works. I mean, the server is up and running, so let's try this. Can't open banned log file. Not that we really need that. How do you actually run the client then? A client install is available in the run/local client directory. You will need to retrieve the artwork, rooms, and audio files from elsewhere and copy them into the resource sub. Where am I going to get it from elsewhere? What? Where am I going to get the resources? I don't know where to get the resources, man. What resources? Ads? Resource. I mean, it seems like the resources are all here, so I don't even know if I need the resources. Maybe this README was written at a time when the game wasn't fully open source, and it was like, oh, maybe they only open source the actual thing itself. But then it's like, maybe now, because the game is fully open source, maybe now they give you everything. The elsewhere folder, yeah, it's the elsewhere. It's like the in between folder. Resources. Resource? I don't know. Bug scrolling settings will not unused and misconfigured sounds in the resource folder. There are multiple unused sounds. What? In the resource folder. What is this image? Not that my images are any better, but that's... I didn't expect that type of style. Sorry. Give me one second, my wife. What? Is there a Git? There is a Git. Yes, there is a Git. I like how we say this and we say, is there a Git? There is a Git for this. But I'm curious if it means that the resources are just available. We tried creating a server and client and copying from resources and copying each file into run local resource, but everything is blank. I cannot find any of the files. What? Is in the client, click preferences work, but when click configuration, hey, the README says a client from elsewhere. And the from elsewhere means essentially an installation of the latest version of the game. There's a link to a web installer on the footer of the website. Once you install, oh, you have to actually install the game. So isn't this like a copyright violation? Like, is this fine for me to do? I just go to, okay. All right, give me a second. We're going to download this game again because I deleted it. No, I still have it. Okay, good. Okay, well, let me do this in a way that won't get me in trouble, but also so I can like go pee. I'll be right back. Actually, I have to go pee. Pee was successfully ejaculated. I like using the word ejaculated in different contexts. Because you could just say it for things that just need to be thrown out of your body. Like there's nothing really stopping you from saying it. Wait, unless is that an invalid use case? Oh, it literally only means semen. Okay, well, okay, so sorry. Google says the dated definition of ejaculate is say something quickly and suddenly. Indeed, ejaculated the stranger. What a great example. What an amazing example. Can I show this? Thank you for the information. You're welcome. What a great example. Look. Say something quickly and suddenly. Indeed, ejaculated the stranger. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this form when I write the book about the rock climbing thing. About the rock climbing scenario or the office sort of like scenario. I'm gonna use the word ejaculate because there's something funny about this, right? Like imagine saying that your boss ejaculated on you. The terms of your layoff. It's like, what does that mean? That's good. That's really good. Let's get the files from this game. So this is the actual game itself installed from Steam. And what we're going to do is we're just gonna pull. Oh, wrong folder. Actually, I didn't open the folder correctly. Oh, give me a second. But we're gonna apparently we're apparently just able to pull the files in from the actual install, and we can just use those. So as far as I can tell, it's perfectly fine. Is this a coding stream? Well, not really. It's just us checking out the Meridian59 source code. I just wanted to check it out just to see what it means to have an open source MMO. But again, this is the folly is believing that your coders are actually coding and not realizing that ultimately they're just typing commands into a command line and waiting for things to happen. AKA, they haven't written a single bit of code. They're just using somebody else's work and just passing it off as their own effectively. So all of these files, how am I going to get all of these? What? Look at, what is this? It's called good guessing. Yeah, exactly. This is like, what is this? Can't go anywhere louder. Well, there's a lot of dance. What the hell is this? Why is there a nightclub in the game? Dice. Door open. Dragonfly. Why is there... Why is this so hardcore? Eagle. Eat. Ah! Fanfare. Oh, oh! Jesus. Female fall. Holy shit, the fight music is insane. This feels like a Final Fantasy fight theme. Forest.mp3. Oh. Imagine walking up in the forest and you hear this. Yo, this one, yeah, this one slaps. Wait a minute. Oh shit! There's a certain style of song back then to the old games that sounds way cooler. Oh god, this is nasty. Wait, this is actually sick. Wow. Ghost respawn. Oh! If a ghost made that noise in my room, I wouldn't know how to react. Wait, what the fuck? Stop nutting everywhere. There's ectoplasm on the walls. God, die. Wait, what's this? This sounds like a Final Fantasy theme. Like, this sounds like you're in some starting town or some magical, mystical forest or something. Man, what's crazy, right, is you have a whole genre of games nowadays that's trying to emulate this style almost. Like, it's crazy how many different games are trying to bring you back to this time and trying to get you to understand this. In fact, again, one of my favorite games of all time, which is more of an experience IMO than a full game. Basilisk 2, if you've never played this game, you have to play it for yourself. I don't think you should watch anyone else play it. I think you have to buy it and play this game. It's actually an insane experience. But this song reminds me of this experience, how you're trying to sort of like explore this world and how these worlds were sort of made to feel alive, right? Like it's so cool. And it's interesting how people are trying to emulate these feelings. I mean, even Lunacid, right? From the same creator. I mean, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, you know, and Lunacid and stuff. They all sort of try to emulate this feeling that used to be there. It's very nice. Anyways, that's enough nostalgia. Let's just like copy all these files legally into my legal copy of the game itself and just drop it all in there. Because apparently this is legal. I don't know how long this is going to take though. And also here is your... Alright, here's your government-mandated soundtrack. Alright, you guys want, like, background music for the stream? Okay, sure, here's your government-mandated soundtrack. Oh, you guys want lo-fi? Again, you've already heard lo-fi for, like, the previous 8 hours in, like, a different stream. Alright, here you go. Here's your government-mandated lo-fi. If I ever play lo-fi on the stream, I want you to shoot me. just kill me. I don't want to ever hear lo-fi ever again. Let's go here. The client install is available. You need to retrieve. Okay, so we got them now. We copy them. Pew, pew, pew. The first thing you'll probably want to do is create an admin account of the server so you can log in. Go to the administration tab on the service interface and enter the command. What command? Okay, enter the command. I can just full screen this for now. I guess. Enter the command, create account admin Joe Smith. Garbage collection, all references reordered. Again, it's crazy that they made their own version of Lua. But what's cool is that, theoretically, right? Like, there's a cool theoretical world where you could just write a whole different clients for the game to give it a whole fresh look, use the exact same backing for the game, and use the exact same system to make your game. Like, you could just make your own custom game in Blackstone, in the Black Code, compiled and running on a Blackstone server. There's nothing really stopping you from doing that. And because it already works as is, and is apparently fit for many thousands of players, it should be fine. Create account admin. Joe Smith, and my password will be password. Cool, create account 3. Don't use this default account name or password or people will likely take over your server. Well, it doesn't matter because the server is running locally, so it doesn't really matter. And also, I'm not port forwarded, so it's fine. All the ports are currently closed. Also, I like how they put this warning. Okay, can I say something about README creators? README creators, you need to do this, okay? Never put the warning after, because people read instructions one after the other. My trick for writing better documentation to eliminate the possibility of issues for people who are willing to read your instructions is to always put the important information first. The important information is not how to do something. It's the fine print that says if you do it the wrong way, you will die. You know what I mean? Like, do not drink this water bottle, you will die. To drink water, open the cap and enter it into your mouth. That's a better way of helping people realize that you're going to die. But I digress. I'm an idiot, so it doesn't change much about my current situation. Then create a character slot on the account with create admin 4. Well, I mean, it's a character slot for 3, actually. So I don't even know who the first 2 accounts are. Create admin 3. Okay, create a character slot on the account with thing. You will now be able to log in with this account name and password. Be sure to save game from the server interface to save this new account. What? Save game. Garbage collecting and saving the game. That's crazy to think about, but I guess that makes sense. Like, I wonder how many MMOs actually do this too, because it's like, you can kind of see this whenever a game rolls back, right? Like, they wouldn't be able to snapshot every single second. And I've been thinking about this too, of like, if I make my own online game, how often do you snapshot in a way that makes sense? Is it after every major event, or is it like, do you do an event-based system where it's after major events? But movement is never really a major event. It's only when you reach a destination. But the journey to get to somewhere, if there is such a component, is that is an important part of the experience because you never want to do it twice. Fast travel was invented because you never want to go in the car twice. And time travel was not invented because the only use of time travel is to go backwards. And nobody ever wants to make the same commute twice, right? So, what do you consider as an important event to save your game world on? Is it on only major events? But if you count all movement as a major event, you're saving all the time anyways. And so it's like, what do? Do you save every like certain time interval? Like what's a good balance, right? I guess it's both in that sense, where it's like you either run a manual one if you need to do like a okay, we're shutting down the server for like Tuesday maintenance, which I don't think happens much anymore except for in WoW. Or you just do it in a time interval, and it's like every 5 minutes, and you just do it, you know what I mean? I digress. Anyways, you import your local client to your local server, running the client with command line flags like this. Okay, sure. This was the development command line prompt, so where is the client itself? I think the client's over here, right? Your local client, and then the Meridian.exe, so Meridian.exe, Joe.Smith, again, this is running locally, so I shouldn't have any issues with people logging in. If somebody logs into the server, I have way bigger problems. I got way bigger problems than whatever this is, okay? Like, if somebody could access my network at the moment, I'd be in deeper shit than whatever this is. So, P5959. Also, what's a good methodology for choosing ports? Because nowadays, if I have to run like a server, right, Docker makes things so much easier, and I almost always default to using containers because it's just so much easier to manage. And the overhead is so minimal for most applications that it doesn't matter, right? Like, the overhead for a web server is so minimal that you don't even notice. If at all, really. Like, it's basically nothing. And then it's like, it's so easy to do your networking stuff, which is where most of your latency, your latency comes from, right? You just do the same internal port every time, and then you expose it outwards, right? But I wonder how these larger places, like say WoW, I wonder how they do it, because they've been open since before containers, and how would they continue to do it now? Wow, okay, so click at the login. Yeah, Joe Smith. Wow, new character. This message is shown to people when they log in. Test Joe. Hi, I'm Joe. Appearance, I'm Joe. We'll go for warrior. Spells, skills, acid touch. Create food, create weapon. Okay, sure. Okay, cool. We're in. Your safety is now off. Be careful. You are now able to hurt those around you. Send a message. Now, what's interesting is that the official server has, I think, oh, okay. I was going to say that the official server had some more interesting features, like it had the Guardian Angel, but this one sort of, oh god, it's so loud, sorry. Meridian59, Raza. But yeah, this is the full game now running locally on a system. And what's crazy is that you could technically write a client in anything to actually run this game. So there's a second tab that I had open of this game, if I can find the many fucking tabs I have running at the moment. Sorry, I'm lost in my own sauce. I'm lost in my own sauce. There's another version of this game called Meridian Next, which is also available too, which is running a whole different 3D client called Ogre Client, which is interesting. And you can actually play this by going to Meridian Next instead, which is also available to play freely. So it's like Meridian59 is the original game as it was, and sort of, I guess, it's untweaked to many by a fairly large amount. And obviously, there's some tweaks coming in through the GitHub issues in terms of what people want from different skills and stuff. But for the most part, it's apparently the same game. Whereas Meridian Next, I've heard and seen is like a much more updated version with like more interesting things going on. But at the same time, it's been a while since it's been updated, since 2023. Which, granted, it's a very, like, how many people would play this game? It's kind of hard to, you know, it's kind of sad to think about that this game is now dead and we're playing like a dead game and we're checking out like a dead game that will no longer exist. And hey, look, there's an Ogre client though. And it's pretty cool to think that you could actually just do this. Like, this is a full MMO running on your machine that you just check out, run, and do anything with. So for instance, now we're playing the full MMO game and I can just go ahead and do anything that I want. Like, because I'm an admin. I'm the only player on this entire game. Nothing can possibly hurt me. There's a problem with your file. Please contact a system administrator to get the correct version. God damn it. Corin.ru. What happened? Sending first time appeal. User suicide. I died? It killed my character. Why did I kill my character? What? Joe Smith from localhost. Yeah. No errors on startup. You're a liar. What happened to Corin.ru? What the hell is Corin.ru? I got killed. I was murdered. Okay, well, maybe now we could do some development. Maybe let's check out why this happened. You know, let's check out why this happened. Do I even have a file called Corin.ru? I'm assuming it's all within the local client resources folder. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Like, what's a ROO folder? ROO. Maybe we can find this. Oh, wait. There's a zndramas.ru, but also the repository actually does have a number of bits of documentation on various formats. Bug fixing? Let's go. Well, I don't think it's bug fixing. I think it's more so that I stole the wrong files. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I just stole the wrong files. What is a resource? Here we go. Resource. ROO. Here we go. Nope. .ru. No. Wait. /.ru. Room file format. I'm missing a room file. And that room file, I'm assuming, is for the town of Corin. So I'm missing the Corin room file. Okay. Well, I can see why it's not here. It's no Corin. What? Why? This is the right folder. It's the Cummiser folder. Okay, well, wait, hold on a second. I think bug fixing would go further, and I think bug fixing would be considered like, okay, like something's actually broken in a thing and we would fix it. But we can check out how to tweak certain values in a bit. I just need to make sure that the game can run first, and then we can get to the main town. Because if I can get to the main town, then we're basically in. Also, I really want to know what the ads folder is. What is the ads folder, actually? What is the... We'll check out the ads folder, too. Corin, ant. In the meantime, enjoy some music. That's not music. That's just someone dying. Enjoy some music. from the game. From the official game. Honestly, it honestly is a banger soundtrack. Like, it's really good. But where is Corrin.ru and why didn't it copy? Oh, the town of Kor, and then the inn of the town. I don't have the file. No, I do have the file. It's right there. Corrin.ru. It didn't copy over. It's slowly copying. Slowly copying. Because once we're in, right, we're gonna take a look at the black code thing. So we're gonna see how we can maybe change some behaviors. Like maybe I can change monster behavior. Maybe I can change like NPC behavior. I don't know. But we'll see what we can do with that. And then we'll just try out, okay, what happens afterwards. I think I might need a fresh install though. Because I think the problem, and I don't know if this is true, but I had the exact file that I needed, but it's not working. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, alright, let's see how this works. Why is there a dancing ant? Crab grave. That's an ant. That's a crab, sorry. Test Joe. There's a problem with your file, Corrin.ru. Please contact the game administrator to get the correct version. Ant? Okay, sorry. I can't see it. Okay. First, let's see if somebody has an answer. Nope. Problem with your file. Okay. Remove use of encryption in RU files in 2013. The proprietary library was a pain for my project. This is the guy who made Meridian Next, or the person who made Meridian Next. Close it and open it again. I don't think that's gonna work. I think we need to follow the actual instructions by actually getting the web version of the game. Because I'm using the Steam version of the game, and I don't know if that's correct. Let's install the actual raw version of the game and see what happens. So somewhere on this website is okay. We close every other tab. Okay, somewhere on this website, totally free, no microtransactions, no pay to win. In fact, there's nothing. There's barely even a server because this is just a community effort. Patch notes from November. Listen to Gene Rosenberg's original score. Honestly, it's a banger series. Wait, there's even more. Look, bank theme. That's a good bank theme. If I walk into a bank and like that starts playing, I'm gonna deposit my money right away. POV, you walk into the bank and they play a little tune like this, and then you say, "Okay, time for me to deposit my cash inside." What the glorp is happening here? Welcome to HSBC. The best bank in all of, well, it was Canada for a while, and now it's different now. In fact, the bank is gone now. Wait, so it's on Spotify. I'm not giving them listenings, but I am basically stealing their listens. Okay, well, this is interesting. Here we go. We need this version. Hello, gamers. We're checking out this thing. We're checking out Meridian59, but the source code of Meridian59. We got the game to compile. And I got the resources, but it's not going in. We green today, glorp. What does that mean? What does it mean that we're green today? I don't know what you mean. BSP draw. Oh, this is using BSPs. I wonder what does that mean? What is the only time that I know about BSPs is from was it the Doom engine, right? But I know that it's a well-known format and like a way of drawing 3D environments. I just don't know anything about it in specifics because that's just too hard for my brain. I like to simplify my life by knowing less, because I feel like the less that I know, the better I feel. Give it a moment. Give it a moment. Relationship between you and the user, okay, that's fine. Desktop shortcut, I'm okay. I like my desktop as this. What's my desktop? Yeah, I like my desktop as it is. Yeah. We'll keep my desktop clean. That capybara is so HD. You can actually see every single tangle of fur. Like, you can see every single fiber of its being, or like of its skin on its body. It's so HD. That's why I love this photo. I stole this from Wikipedia, so I'm not even like allowed to show you this photo because it's not copyright free. But my God, is this the best photo ever? You can smell it from here. Look, it's thinking. What is the capybara thinking of? It's thinking of a cave. A totally normal cave. Girls front. Well, no, that's my girls frontline folder. It's also my placeholder desktop folder. So everything that I have in my desktop goes in there. But I have a better folder to show you all. That's actually the full folder. Let me show you. To edit. Here we go. This is a good folder. Swear to God. That's an actual scene in Girls Frontline that you can get. This is an actual scene in Girls Frontline that you can get. If you buy the costume, she randomly sucks on the lollipop like this, and then she makes that noise. I'm not even kidding you. Like actual real Girls Frontline content. This is from the actual game itself. Amazing. What a great game. Does my wife know? She's watching right now. She actually saw me play through the entirety of Girls Frontline 2. She's seen me do the whole Girls Frontline 2 segment. And then you got things like this. You have various images like this. I had to like get other people's screenshots because I couldn't get the costumes in time for the video, so it's kind of hard for me to like do with things. Well, it was hard for many different reasons. Anyways, let's go to the makes you wonder. makes you wonder. Let's go to the. I need to change my volume back on my browser. Just let's go back to that folder as you listen to more great tunes from the game, like I don't know, like Cave. Okay, well that's okay. Well, okay, we need to look for like a new song. Let's go down to here. Guild. Gulls. Okay. Heal wand. Cave. Cave rage. What's up? Hey, everyone. I don't know. What's the good news? I was trying to think of like good news, but I couldn't think of one because I haven't had good news in a while. It's like, uh-oh, is he feeling okay? I don't know. Ooh. What is this for? What J Distill? What is that for? Wait, we can actually see it. What is J Distill for? J Distill. Distill sound. Distill is a spell. Note, not in the Jowler superclass because it does not require an instrument. Oh. So when you use this spell, allows the caster to distill their knowledge of a spell into liquid form. After casting, simply say the name of the spell you want to turn into a potion. So you can do like a poison potion, and when you make a potion, it makes a sound. That's sick. Wait, that's actually so cool. Jungle? Any more themes? Cantamag? Caliorp? What other themes are there? Little Girl? Sure. I don't know. It's kind of a weird name for a song, but yeah, sure. Whatever. How do I find this theme? This game? Meridian59. Here we go. I need to start the official game in order to get the file. So give me a second. We're gonna start the official game. And I'm going to copy the files from the official game over into my folder as they tell me to. They tell me to do this. Technically, this is legal because they told me to do this. Yeah? Oh. Huh? Do I just sign in? Do I just... Oh. You can't see what I'm about to do because it involves a password manager, which I really should switch to the family plan, but we still haven't. Like, I'm just using my brother's account and his whole thing's getting filled up. Legal, okay. Guys, totally legal, I swear. I swear this is a legal thing that I'm doing. It's what the GitHub told me to do. The GitHub told me to do this, okay? You need to get an updated version. Yeah, thank you. Get it. Okay, club.exe. Oh my god. Look, it even has like a bunch of really old... Oh. Error 317. No. Error 317. No. Connecting to Meridian59 updates S3.US West Amazon AWS. No. Maybe I have a solution. We teleport our character away from the core and in, right? We're gonna teleport a character away from core in. If GitHub told me that, if GitHub told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? Probably, yeah. Huzzah, where did the wall go? Where did the wall go? Where is the wall? What happened to the wall? Huzzah! Where's the wall? Okay, so this is what I see when I start, okay? So it tells me to do this. Alright, and it's like, hey, you need the files, you're missing the files. And I say, okay, sure. It does this prompt, it's starting up, it's throwing hammers. Look, it throws hammers into the folder, and it stops. But it's look at the icon, that's sick. This is the coolest update screen I've seen. It's throwing a hammer and a shield into the computer. And then we've lost Blackston.arq. What is ARQ? .arq. ARQ. Ofwapos? What? ARQ? What is this? What is the translations? Oh, because it's, yeah, because ARQ is like, Blackston.arq, name to updated archive. Client file name should have been hammer and sickle. America. I think what I need to do is I need to shortcut certain things. So we're gonna make our own. I don't know if this is gonna kill the thingamabob. Yeah, I need to confirm. Sure, okay. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna get the Blackston ARQ file from the Steam version into this version. Blackstone. You know what? Easier solution. I'm going to use the Steam version. I'm going to verify the files on the Steam version. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to verify the files on the Steam version. Verify integrity. It's verifying integrity. This is a game from 1996. Shouldn't take too long. It's integral. The game is integral. Really? The game is integral. Okay, we're gonna teleport our way out of Blackston Mine. So I need to find admin commands. Okay, now we're problem solving, and you know what? We need a problem solving song. I think we need a problem solving song. So instead of doing that, we're gonna get, I don't know, like, where's my explorer.exe? Here we go. We're gonna change the song to the dance song. Where's the dance song? Dance. The Dragonfly. Oh, you dare enter my domain. You dare to stand before me. Me, the Dark Wizard Agramor, or whatever the name of the enemy is. I am the great follower of Core, and I will melt your bones to water. Admin commands. Admin spell name, code spell name. Admin system message, I'm missing. Functions, there we go. Whoa. The piano's going crazy. Oh, Jesus. Okay, calm down. Why's the piano going crazy? Dementia. What? Dementia? What's dementia? Dementia? Do I have dementia? Dementia. Enchantment Dementia. Dementia and Enfeeblement now have icons. Speed very slow. Attack weapon slash. Hey, monsters.htm. What? What is monsters HTML? Docs design mechanics monsters. Doc design mechanics. Wow. All right. Let's This is a list of all the monsters and the attributes. The difficulties, common powers, and ranges from 0 to 9. Shit! I'm so glad that the emote finally got approved, by the way. Thank you, Cup of Kathy, for approving my emotes on 7TV. I really appreciate that. Thank you for real recognize real. Okay, instead of this, we're gonna go back. I need a different song. This dance. I don't know when in the game this would play, but we need the admin command to get me out of this place. Can I teleport myself? Is there a way for me to teleport myself? Looking at these is a list of functions that are automatically put in, but it's I missing, so I don't know what that means. What is I missing? I missing. What is I missing? I missing. I'm sorry. What? Black compiler, black code, code base. This person really wanted the just toggle SV cheats, duh. Wait, can you imagine if that works? I mean, we could just try it. Just do SV cheats, streamer. That's all you need. Just do SV cheats. Okay, this is my local client, but I need to do into the this is the developer command prompt. Sorry, wrong one. It's this prompt. Well, open MIDI file, can't open the specified file, can't open mail profane.data. Old game state, new game state. Loaded bitmap. There's a problem with your corin.ru file. Corin.ru file. I wonder if it's because I played it online at some point, so maybe this file is tainted. Right? Like, would I have to reinstall the whole game to get a different file? How do I teleport myself? Admin, I don't know. Admin help? Help? Well, did people back in the 1990s have an allergy to the ability to be able to read things at like a reasonable font? Hang up, lock the game, kick off, page the console, read admin commands from a file, echoes everything. Read, I don't know, like read error opening ... Oops. Set show commands, show subcommand, admin show timer, show calls, show top integer called messages, so show top integer see call counts, show one account, show all accounts, show actually yeah, who are the other two accounts on my game? These are the developers of the game, the original developers of the game. They've made their own separate accounts on the. That's okay. Goodbye, good day, Joe. How do I? The song is getting annoying. Is there like a better? Is there a different song? With monitor 600 by 400, you guess every font looks big. Yeah, but that's the thing. Actually, that is true. You're not wrong. How come we didn't do? Oh, I guess software scaling was like. Why would you bother doing software scaling when your monitor is 600 by 400 and like when you don't ever? Because like back then, honestly, I remember when 1024 by 768 came out, and I was like. This is magical. Like, it felt like you had so much room. And then when 1366 by 720 or like something came out, I was like, this is insane. When 1920 by 1080 dropped, I was like, this is a whole new world. I felt like there was so much room. I remember my Windows XP being too small at some point. And I was like, I can't use it. What is K-Song? Okay, how do I teleport myself? You see, I'm currently lost in the world. My character is stuck in the core in Core's inn, and I need to fly myself away. Is there a way to like teleport myself? Teleport. Set an object to RID integer. No, a value of 0 means teleport the object. Hey, manual APA. Uh-huh. What the hell is a P line? Isn't the P line the thing that you have when it's like you know, the how far your like pee is on, like, you know how like your toilet bowl has like a has like a yellow mark after a while, like that's where your pee line is. Why did it change? Why did the search change all of a sudden? P metric, you've pissed yourself. You pissed yourself, sorry. Get pissed on. Oh, here we go. Admin. Okay, IDC teleport. Case IDC teleport. Send object D to here. Teleport each logged in user to a random room. Oh my god. Scatter. Scatter. How do I run this? Admin supported recreates the library. What is this file? This is black code, right? This is a black code file. How many lines is this? Line numbers? How do you show line numbers? Set numbers? What is a set number? What's the thing again? Like, what's the Vimy way of doing it again? Vim show line numbers. What's it called again? Isn't it set numbers? Yeah, set number. Oops. Set number. State number cannot be set as initial state okay, sorry. It's because I'm using the line numbers. I guess it doesn't do it for files that it doesn't recognize the format of, I guess. I don't know. System is utility functions. Okay, system is utility functions. How do I do utility functions? How do I do like a utility? How do I save myself? Unsuspend subcommand. Suspend subcommand. Show subcommand. Reload, recreate, read page. Read system.code. Read system. I don't know. How do I get myself free? Teleport. Send room. Anti-scatter. What exactly is scatter? Scatter. Flee, fool, scatter. Speech dialogue. Okay, well, I want to go to the town. Is there a different teleport command? Teleport? Protocol. There we go. Move object. Remove, add to inventory. This is the protocol for the game, I think. Game mode messages. Yeah, so this is just the messages. Is there a way for me to send messages? No. What should the max code width be? 10. If you need more than 10 columns, I think your code is too complex. It needs to be simple for someone like me. I guess. Where would I save the commands? Where do I save the commands? How would I find the commands? How would I find the commands? I would look up one of these things. So I would look up, say, kickoff. Kickoff seems like a unique enough term that it'd be hard for you to accidentally register like a different token called kickoff for my very basic grep search over a file format that I've never heard of in my life. Admin server guide. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. This is in the docs design folder. No! I actually do think about like what is a good set column width, because it's like if you go too small, yeah, it can be a little silly how small it is, because at that point you're not even seeing things, right? Like you're barely even alive, I think, because you don't even have any room to think in your life. But if you go too large, then it can feel a little too much. Then there's too much shit going on. You've seen some use the full width of the screen. You think that they're serial killers. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like if your code, if you're like this is an HTML file with like, you know, with the Unix line names, right? But like let's say like this, it's annoying that you had to read it from the left, right? But imagine if this code was like this. Like imagine if this was the code that you had to read. You know what I mean? I would feel a little like annoyed, because then your eyes have to like go across the entire thing. However, I think it's mainly a matter of the language itself. Like, does the language allow constructions like this? Does the language allow you, like, can compilers recognize you putting arguments on separate lines, especially if they're very long and very descriptive, which sometimes it seems bad, but sometimes you need to. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a very language specific thing. But for comments, it matters the most, because if you read a comment and it's like super long paragraph, it's like just not having to move your eyes so much really helps. Though I will say, the problem with the column width, like the column width problem, is an unsolved problem, I think, because of this problem where everything's still left of my screen, right? Whereas like I would have to, I don't know, I'd have to activate some kind of like Zen mode to be able to actually look at this without feeling like it's claustrophobic. Like it'd have to be centered in some way like this, and you would need way more space over here to be able to like read things. Like you would need to go all the way here to, I think, have a comfortable reading experience for the entire file, right? Which is effectively what Zen modes would usually do within most editors, right? But then that doesn't, like, then it doesn't scale well with things that use a width that is like too long. Like it's like you need a dynamic centered viewing mode. Basically, my perfect editor, and I'm going to do a classic paint move, okay? Sorry, this is way too bright. My perfect editor is like this. Okay? You have the editor frame in red. Editor frame is in red. Okay? The buffer is in green. Okay, the buffer is in green. So what? And like the buffer is the abstraction of whatever it is that you're currently editing, right? My preferred centered buffer mode would have this dynamically scale. So as you type, it would grow equally on both sides and sort of like always center itself up to potentially a max width. But I would even argue that you can't have a max width, because if you forcibly break a line at, say, 120, you may be doing it wrong, because the language and how you want to describe your code may require that much space. I think it should grow up to the size of the entire frame, but try to keep everything centered insofar as where it is. And at least it gives you like a visual manner. But this is also psychopathic, because it's a bit like it's a bit like this. It's a bit like oh man, it's a bit like this system, the elastic tab stop system, where you use a tab, but every single tab has a different spacing to it. This is all insano shit that you wouldn't want to subject most people to, but it totally would work well. Like this plus whatever this thing would be is my preferred editing style, because then you could look at everything in the middle. I've just drawn a 16-bit vagina. Like if you add a clitoris in the middle. That's why you had the file explorer on the left. So true. But then it's like, okay, let's say you have the file explorer, right? Let's say, okay, just let's say you have the file explorer, right? What useful information does this give you? There is no useful information that this gives you in the moment of you developing something. However, you are correct, because having the file explorer means I could do like, I don't know, like shift right? No, not shift tab right. No, shift GV. No, it's not wrong. But like you could do it like this and then have your explorer tab be the thing that helps you center. But again, I think you're still missing the like dynamism of being able to have it in the right place. Did you just draw an ASCII vagina in the form of 2 square parentheses and an eye symbol? You know what they should be? O with a dot on top. This is the vagina. I can't even copy paste it, I think, because I don't even know if this file actually has it. O with a dot on top. Shit. Well, it doesn't show up. Well, Notepad. By the way, can I? Who the fuck uses Copilot to write in Notepad? Like, why is this a feature? I absolutely failed at spelling that, and I'm sorry. That's so stupid. Or Protoss. What's it called again? Protoss. What? StarCraft 1 Protoss units. What's it called again? The guy who like gets you stuff. Or Protoss probe. Okay, is that vagina? Is ASCII vaginar or Protoss probe? Which one is it? We've talked about this before for people who code in Notepad. That's insanity to me. Like, look at try to open this file. 10x programmers use Notepad. No, they don't. Because on the desktop, you don't see the full folder name because it's too small. But you see the full. Ooh, where's the file located? Wait, not the distill spell. Here we go. Design doc admin server guide. Actually, to be fair, when I first started learning how to write code, I did use Notepad because it's like when you first start, you don't know what to use to make it with, so you just use whatever tools you have, and the only one that people really sort of recommend is like a text editor. And so it's like, okay, you might as well just use this text editor, which is specifically this thing, which is like, it's shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's super shit. All files. Here we go. So for instance, you would use Notepad. Never met a real 10x Pro programmer. I'm right here. I'm sitting right here, chat. I'm sitting right here. What if I actually use the Copilot thing? Right. Change tone. What? Your mother is a whore, Sarah. Change tone. Humorous. Fuck. Fuck. Try it for 1 free month. You were shopping in. Okay, well, it's too much work. I wanted to see what they could have salvaged from that sentence. Like, I was really hoping it could salvage something, but I guess not. I don't know. How would I view this? I guess I could just view this in like EU, no? But I've never actually bothered to use EU for local files, so I don't know how it would work. Like, I've never used the EU for like a real file. Let's see how this works. Wow, it does work. Oh, perfect. Good. How do you like window shift? How do you like resize? Shrink window. Honey, I shrunk the window. Window grow. Whatever. Arthur Bryan. Drag the resize window. Fuck it. Oh. Fuck it. Send the user notification. The fast way to shut down Meridian59. The maintenance port. What is the maintenance port? No. Commands. Can I see commands? Oh, this is so handy because I can use everything. God, EU is such a great tool. Administrative commands. Here we go. Can be used to administrate servers. These commands can be entered in the administration pane of the server via admin window control in the game or by maintenance point if allowed. Create automated blah blah blah. So teleport. Oh shit. We have to. Okay, let's look for a command that lets me teleport. Okay, chat, because we're currently stuck in a terrible place. Suspend account, unsuspend account. Show. Why did I even go to this file in the first place? Why was I here in the file in the first place? How do you resize windows in Emacs? Why? How did I get here from teleport? Well, no, I got here from searching admin. show user Bob, send users, save game, lock, unlock, kick off, hang up. The account option, hang up. This is a temporary kickoff. Unuseful to kick off users for maintenance. Also useful for kicking off users who are using macros or botting. Hang up account has been disconnected. I'm assuming this is like a full actual disconnect, but I don't know what that means, because this game was made in a time when this noise was a real thing that you would hear. All right, guys. I'm gonna connect. Okay, guys. Let's go raiding. Come on. Yeah, man. I'm booting in. Okay, I have to stop the call. See ya. You know what I mean? Like so hang up comes from this time, but what does hang up mean in this time? Because I don't think hang up is really a concept anymore. In a new world where dial-up doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, so what does that do? What does that do? What does it mean to hang up the call? Here, just have some like background music. So okay, so hang up is here. I'm assuming that just kicks you off, but it's like you have a kick command. So what does it matter? Teleport, move. Maybe there's a move. Moves. Object moves a character object from one account to another. So that lets you just move a character from one account to another. Okay, that's cool. Is there no command to move a character? Spawn, kill. Oh, how do you kill yourself? Kill. Sorry. Destroy character. How do I kill myself? I don't want to. But like, how do I kill myself in like a different way? You know what I mean? Like, how do I kill myself in a different way? Enter your current account password here. Oh wait, this is just like my fake account. Yeah, it's my fake account. Password. Okay. Whatever. New Joe, new Schmo. Right? Like Joe Schmo. New Joe Schmo. Acid touch. We'll do acid touch. Create food. Create weapon. I don't know. Yeah, sure. So now we're in the game again. I just can't go to the core in. It's weird that I can't go to the core in, because the resource file that I downloaded is not what the game expects, and I don't really know what to do. But what I can do is we can just play with the game at this point. Like, we have the space to play with the game here. What I'm interested in, though, is like, how do you create food? Or like, what? What? Oh, do you have to press that key to get help? No, F1. Oh god, it opens the website. Oh shit. Well, okay, well I'll just go to the code myself. I'll just go to the code by myself. Create food. What the hell is this? This is the design doc. Create food. Create food. Self-system, create food, system.code. Passive, spell. Passive spell? What? How do you make a spell in this game? Create food is spell. So, based on the documentation I had over here, where's the documentation for the code again? It was like code base bcode.txt. Here we go. It was this thing. Based on this code. Oh fuck! I got so intense. Based on this code, right? We know that class and superclass are concepts. Yeah, so you have the class name and then the superclass, and then the resources that it uses: constant block, resource block, class variable block. Constant block, resources block. The power of Kranan is summoned to materialize various nourishing foods. Class variables is this. And what does it do? So it sends messages. What? Oh, right, because it's a message-based system, right? Because the Blackstone server, which is the server of the game, is running an interpreter for black code. This is a Sonic song. So you send the message that you want to reset your regents, Then you get num spell targets. Then you cast spell. Wait a minute, I could just make my own spell by using this spell. Why don't I just like hijack? I'm gonna hijack this spell so I can teleport myself everywhere. You know what I mean? Because now I know why we saw that. So you see how... Remember when I searched up teleport and then it was like, not protocol, where is it? This thing. Blue win. Thank you for finding blue win. I added that so long ago. But look, I can just do this. I can just call scatter from anything, because this is black code, and this is a series of definitions of different functions that you can have, that you can call. In fact, I bet you I can find reset regents or like something inside here. Create food, cast spell, reset, cast spell. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Cast spell. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. How would you use these then? What is this file? Reset, recreate shrine allegiances. What? What is this entire block of code? What is this? System is utility functions. Yeah, utility functions. Yeah, see? I should be able to use these utility functions in my thing so I can get out of the core in, because the core in is the problem. Constructed, it shouldn't be changed. Okay, so if I do the teleport thing and I go to the random room thing, put in room, admin supported. What? Can I cast a spell? Help? Create. Resource. No. Create a timer. Create a count by type. Create admin count. No. How do I... Garbage collect? No. Enable. I really wish I could see the difference in... This is not a good... Teleportium. Mark all channel logs with a dashed line. What? Mark. Uh-oh. Oh, I see. Like to help you see in between the various channel logs. Message of the day. Eat a dick. How do you actually... It says admin supported, but what does that mean by admin supported? Wait, can I just type put in the room? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Can I just type that? If I just type that, what does that do? Like, could I just do... Scatter? What? What? Admin. What? Okay, where's that server manual? We had a manual. Where's the manual? Emmanuel. Lib spells. those goddamn liberals in their spells. And Mr. Command, sorry, it's just funny to imagine that, like, you know, that could be like a liberal and a conservative, like, magician. Oh man. It's like you always divide the wizards by the schools that they practice or the magic that they practice, but not by their belief systems. You know what I mean? But wizards are people too, so they could have beliefs. Like, there's nothing stopping them really from doing that. You know what I mean? Oh shit, that's funny. Show user Bob. Using for finding the account number to punish a transgressor. Lock is the text to unlock and lock. Kick off all. Hang up. Okay. Who? Comments. Terminate the accounts file. Okay. Cool. How do I? Wait. The accounts file. Files is a game. The server has a new file. First column is the account. The user permission. 2 for admin. 6th column is the number of seconds spent online. I'm surprised that this file doesn't overflow at some point, but I guess that's fine. That's a pretty interesting way of doing it. Although I think you only overflow in 2036 or something. So, is that kind of the plot of Harry Potter? No. Well, I mean, the school thing is, but kind of, but not really. I mean, Harry Potter. I don't like talking about it because the problematic. There's a problematic creator. There's a problematic series of things within it, but at the baseline, to be factual about it, the plot is less about the schools and I think more about the characters. I think the school plot was only within like the first section of the movie, of the first movie. After that, it became background noise to the plot of Harry Potter and whatever he was doing. Like it's like after the first Harry Potter movie, when they started naming it Harry Potter and something, that's when the movies that's when the movies and the books started to become about him and what he's going through versus necessarily like the schools. I think the spin-off stuff, like the magical mystical monsters movie, is more the wizarding schools. Just my thing. But how do I... Okay, so it says admin enabled, but I don't think that's true. So what I'm going to do instead is just call scatter. But there's like multiple teleports. For instance, I can do put in a room. I'm just going to do scatter, okay? So I'll do scatter. So in my create food, I'm going to scatter myself. So first, we scatter. Oh. Messages. Wait, is this messages that I have? Or do I send? Send who? Oh, food. Oh, create. Wait, oh, food, create. Is this what it is? Create? If I'm correct, I think that's how you actually send messages. So you would send the create message or something. But like, do you call it or do you thing? Okay, it seems like we can just call them inside the body of some of the thing. You just kind of thought Voldemort was Hitler coded with the whole pure blood thing. I mean, he basically is. Yeah, like it's sort of like if you dissect Harry Potter, it's basically like 5-year-olds worth of writing, and in terms of like characterization, like he is basically that. Yeah. And it is basically like the pure blood thing of like, oh, the Muggles, aka the humans can't, right? Worm jam, Skittle Skadoodle, your dick is now a noodle. It's green. But if I'm correct, so if I go here and I do, I can't do scatter here, but you can call create over here, which then gets you the thing itself. So we're gonna. These are functions that you call, but casting the spell itself is what you do. So I'm just going to do scatter inside here and see where it takes us, because I'm currently stuck. I think that should work, but now we need to recompile the entire game. So we got to recompile the entire game. Scatter is only usable by admins. I think admin supported literally means it's only usable by admins, but I'm not really sure. So how do you kill the server? Terminate. I should have read the manual more carefully. Terminates? Oh, here we go. Save means do a save before ending. Wait, there was also shutting down. The fast way shut down, send the users a notification. Send, okay, let's pretend like we're a real server admin, okay? Mod, scatter. Send users B server. Bye, shitters. Sent to gamers. Sent to gamers! Sent to gamers. Gamers! Woo-wee! Terminate save. Okay, we kill the server and then we save it. Okay, cool. So now the server's down. I need to rebuild the thing because it has to be rebuilt now. Let's rebuild the entire server. By doing what? Not in PowerShell. In this. So here, I need to do just nmake. Because I've changed the file. Or do I need to? Because it's an interpreted file. I probably don't have to, actually. If it's an interpreted file, I probably don't have to do that, because it's being interpreted. So if I go to the server and I just do, I don't know. Ooh, not the config file, sorry. exe. This should start the server. There's 488 timers. And then if I go back to the client, let me just run the client. I don't know, just connect it. And I go to Joe Smith and new Joe, new Schmo. And I cast create food. A wheel of cheese appears. It didn't move me. It didn't move me. How do you compile. How do you compile the black code? How do you run the interpreter to compile the black code, the bit code? How do you compile? Can't get it to compile. Okay, well, that's my problem, man. Okay, fuck it. We're gonna rebuild the entire thing, and we're just gonna see what happens. Okay. And this is the lie is that your developer is doing something very complicated. Okay, how much code have I written? Zero. I've written zero code. Do you know why? I'm just exploring this code base. This is what it's like. At the very least, this is what it's like when you're first exploring a new code base or you're trying to get up to date on a code base. This is how you would try to figure out what's going on so you can go ahead and make modifications. Is you need to understand how it works, so you would try to run it, and then you would observe your results and iterate on it. But I haven't written a single piece of code. But you know how the coding movies, they show this, okay? I don't know about you, but expected a function name found scattered. Damn it. It died. Okay, oh god, it absolutely died. Okay, expecting a function name found scattered. Did I not read this correctly? That is a function name. Is it not? You're doing create over here. What? So why is mine wrong? Scattered. Is there something about its construction that's different? Because I can see create over here. If I go, I don't know, to anywhere else. Where's the create function? Wait. Create. Dib create, group create. It's going to take a while to find this. I don't really know how to find this function. The create function... See, like, this has a create function that I'm calling in some way. But I don't know why my function call sucks compared to other function calls. We need to read the documentation for this interpreted language. Wait, we need to read the documentation for this language. Black code. Is there a better, like, way to read this? Text general. Blackstone, some general comments on the Blackstone. Server startup loads .code from some directory. Keeps with is there a way to run nmake but only on the code files? Sample black code file. Messages. Properties are automatically potential parameters to this destructor. Attack monster. Messages. C provides the following functions. That's in C. If we're making an item in C, that's one thing. I'm trying to hijack this spell so I can leave core in so I can go somewhere useful. D-base description. I don't know. Blackstone is a... No. B code, that's a file definition. Resource, no. D-base, no. Compiler class, buff, no. Buff, no. Login, no. User command, end hostilities with guild. This is a part of a protocol. BP user command message. How do you send a message? I was just trying to find like a easier way to read it, but I think we had to read this this latex file. Okay, ignore the formatting. Latex is, I don't have a compiler for it locally, and I don't know how to like... I don't want to set up a compiler for latex in my local system. Like it's just too much. I'm saving latex for when I have to... I'm saving all the crazy stuff that I want to do for its stuff for when I move to a Linux system. This is not the time, right? Like it's like until I get to the part where I can dual boot Linux without losing all of my shit, I'll get there eventually. Picture the BMP class variable dot thing messages message block. This message handler moves the object in some way. Okay, so this message handler. The constant block identifies a class variable, a subclass. The message block contains the class's message handlers. Each message handler begins with a header that lists the handler's name parameters. Parameters are matched by name, so that calls for handling need not assign values to all the parameters listed. A special message handler is called when it's created. Statements. Here we go. Statements and expressions. The main difference is that due to black code's dynamic types given message handler calls. How do I send a message? Expressions consist of identifiers. Black code contains the following operators. Black code programs are made of assignment statements, conditional clauses, loop calls, and return statements. Okay. How do I call an existing message handler? Like, how do I make myself scatter? Function calls may appear. The expressions, in which the case they evaluate the return value of the function they call, or statements, in which case the return value is. The most important call is function, which calls an object's message handler. I see. Here we go. Send gives the object whose message handler is to be called. The object is the object whose message handler is called. Message is the name of the thing. How do I get the utility then? Okay, so we can use the send command to call things. How do I use, like, send who food delete? Send who? Let's find usages of scatter. Oops. One of these files must have it. Okay, how about the non-scatter? How about the teleport? This one's good. Put in room. How about put in room? Oh god, it froze. I knew this would happen. At some point. I was waiting for it to happen. It's a Emacs bug on Windows. It's specifically just a weird bug on Windows. The problem is that at some point, if a background process in Emacs, because like background processes in Emacs and Windows, in Linux and Windows apparently work slightly differently. And there was a breakdown of it that I read that was actually pretty cool. But basically, it boils down to on Windows it doesn't work as well, and if something about it happens too quickly before it finishes, it'll break. So I mean, you get to see my cool intro screen though. I like that. That's the kind of shit that I like right there. Oh yeah, that's a good shit right there. Oh yeah, that's a good image right there. Actually, I kind of want to change this image. There's like one image that I really want to do. Image. There's one specific image that I want to do that I think would be even funnier. I'm gonna do this really, really quickly. Yeah, here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need to convert this really quick. Sorry, just give me a second. Save as PNG. Save as PNG. Go in here. Go in here. Perfect. Perfect stuff. Okay, and then I just need to restart the client. Oh yeah. That's so shit. It's so good. It's so shit that it's so good. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's so huge. I need to resize it. I need to resize that thing after. You love this image. I love that image. So what was the thing again? It was doc/b the blackcode.txt tx. I mean, I still really won't want to find put in a room though. I really don't know how to use these handlers. Like I really don't know how to use these utility handlers. Let's check out recreate necromancer. Okay, listen, that has to be in the use. That's not in use, really? Wow. Fix banks, get guilds. Test the game day timer. Send self. Send self. Find guild. Send self. Self. Could I system? How do I get the system? System. How do I get the system? If I can get the system, I can call the command. We can free ourselves from this hell. Remains consistent on all systems. Admin reload system. Send black hole begin system event. No, but that's in C though. That's in C. I mean, at this point, maybe I just should. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I should just do that and just make it so that, like, the moment that you give me that, I can just call it. Am I stupid? Why is this language so weird to me? I just want to be able to, like, call that utility function. How do I call it utility function? Fake billing system. Crazy Andrew's Blackstone server fake billing system. Accepts connections from Black server and handles a simple text string protocol for certain events. Billing system? What does that mean? Utility. Utility functions for club. What the hell is a club? Actually, I did notice this. There was a there's a club. There's a yeah, fuck it, I'll just find it from here. There's actually like a club.exe in here. I don't know what this exe does, but we're about to find out. Run local client club. This program receives future updates to the game. This is used by Meridian59 automatically. Oh. Utility functions. Wait. Utility functions. Okay. Object utility. You gave me hope and then you pulled it away. Dump utility, dib utility, utility functions, utility procedures. How do I call the utility functions? War event system is utility functions. System. How do you call system? I broke it again. Okay, you know what? We're stuck in that room. And you know what? We're stuck in a room, and there's nothing I can do, and we're just gonna call it here. We spent like 3 hours on this. The fact that this thing even runs is actually just pretty impressive to me, okay? The fact that we even get as far as we do, which is admittedly not that far, but you know, it's kind of cool that we can build this thing and explore how they would have made it, right? Like, it is neat that we can see everything that went into the decision-making for this project. Because, again, it's crazy to me that they built an entire interpreter just to be able to run their game code. And then it's pretty cool that it all just works on a modern system in this day and age. And again, the fact that you can basically use this system for any type of game that you wanted to is fascinating, because you don't even need to play Meridian59 necessarily. Like, you could just... My password is password. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What? Help? Who? Help? Show users. My account's gone. Wait, no, it's there. Joe Schmo. Brother, am I stupid? Oh, I know why. Sorry, I had to run it like this. Oops. Run/local client, and then I have to run it like this. Because it's not connecting. I think that was connecting to the actual official server. I actually don't know what that would have connected to. Where does it connect to? Uh-oh. I don't know what I was trying to log into, but it was logging into trying to look. My message, the fact that you can get this running and the fact that you could feasibly modify the game to do whatever it is that you want is kind of a neat premise, right? Because it's just like it uses BSPs for the maps. So basically, if you know how to make maps for Doom, like if you've ever made maps for Doom, I think you're 99% of the way there in terms of your necessary skills. If you can code, then you can reasonably pick up the custom language that they've made, and the language is simple enough because it's just a bunch of like messages that you pass around, right? And then you just need to build it up, and I think it's pretty cool that you could just do this. Like it's an MMO from 1996 that you could feasibly use the engine of to build your own thing, and you can just explore it as much as you want by going into the files themselves. There's no NPCs, by the way. There are no NPCs. What happened to all the NPCs? What the fuck? And I think that's a cool thing to have, because I've never really seen an open source MMO before. The doors to the town hall are firmly bolted. Have you anything to sell to me? Because you just would never expect that from an MMO. Like, those games usually always feel like they're kept under lock and key, because it's like the secret sauce, and sort of the moneymaker is how do you run such a thing, right? Like, it seems to me that there's no real examples. There's just talks. There's a problem with your file guest6.ru. Suicide. I have a very pertinent video on suicide.
Many times you forget them. Many times you forget them. And if you forget a good idea, you want to commit suicide. So you have to write them down.
If a person forgets an idea that they love, it's a horror. And it could lead to a real yearning to commit suicide.
I write them down so I don't commit suicide later having forgotten the idea.
Yeah.
If you don't write it down, it could happen that the next day you want to blow your brains out.
Oh, it's that bad.